And a view from the top Fisher Stadium where Patriot League action returns here to Easton. The Lafayette Leopards today playing host to the Georgetown Hoyas in a showdown. Lafayette right now undefeated 2-0 at home, trying to level its record in league play with a win against the Hoyas, who also come in with an 0-1 record in the Patriot League. We've got all the action for you here, of course, on the Lafayette Sports Network. Now, for the guys with me, our LC All-Americans Phil Ng and Maurice Bennett. I'm Matt Province, inviting you to experience the Coke side of life as we begin the Coca-Cola LSN pregame show today. Last week, a tough loss against Fordham in the opener of Patriot League play. But, Mo, you've been there before. How do you let that game kind of go by the wayside and put it behind you?
I don't know if you necessarily want to put the game behind you. I think you want to come out here and play against Georgetown today with some intensity. And, hey, as a middle linebacker, I took it out on the fullbacks. So I think these guys will come out here, they'll play hard. They'll be aggressive, and after the first couple of hits, man, you'll forget all about Fordham.
Well, I'll tell you what, those fullbacks better be a little concerned if that's the case. Now, a guy that played wide receiver and Phil Ng, you talk about losing last week. Okay, you put it behind you, but does it magnify the importance of this game now at 0-1 in the Patriot League?
Well, it definitely does, because if you're going to have any aspiration of winning the Patriot League, you got to get by Georgetown and probably every other Patriot League team that comes your way. You can't let them hang around like they have. Georgetown's won 3 out of the last 4 meetings here, and mainly because the Leopards let them hang around. Can't do that. Got to put them away when they can.
It's an interesting Georgetown team, too, that comes in maybe not real balanced because it's one of the top defenses, not only in the Patriot League, but in the FCS, coming in 21st in scoring defense. However, offensively, they've been challenged. To learn more about the matchup now, down to the guys who will call the game, let's send it to the sidelines with, of course, Gary Laubach and Mike Joseph.
Thanks, Matt. There are oxymorons that are good things. Big shrimp. Who doesn't like big shrimp? There are oxymorons not so good, and that's consistently inconsistent. And that's been one of the problems for the Leopards so far this year. They can't have that problem here today, Mike Joseph.
No, they just can't. It comes a time really in every type of season where guys have to step up and accountability becomes huge. Today's one of those days. The Leopards can get to 3-3, or they can drop to 2-4.
And of course, this is the ball club they're facing that is just outstanding defensively. They will take the football away. They're ranked nationally in that category. The Leopards have to avoid turnovers today, and I think they have to get a few themselves.
Yeah, they got to go back to what they did early in the season, really taking that football away from the secondary. Get a good pass rush, take that ball away, and maybe on special teams create a big play.
We're looking for a big day down here. Back to you, Matt.
All right, guys, thanks so much. Some injury news. Ross Sherman expected to play, was upgraded to probable. Good to have their leading man toting the ball back. Drew Reed, however, still banged up with the shoulder. Did practice a bit this week. However, we'll have Blake Surfoss make the start. So, again, getting a little healthier on the offensive side of the ball. We're going to talk more about the offensive side of the ball as well as defense with our keys to the game after a break. We have more for you getting set for this showdown. Georgetown, a team that lost to the Patriot League champion Lafayette Leopards a year ago, but had won 3 straight. They hope to see more of this. Marazzi, a touchdown grab. Then this was Justin Adams from Surfoss for another touchdown grab. We want more of that. Stay tuned here to the LSN. Matt Province back inside here to Fisher Stadium on what is a 52-degree day right at the start of kickoff time today. Partly cloudy, but fortunately the rain's staying away. That was my key today, but we've got our 2 All-Americans to talk more about what's going on in the gridiron. Let's start on the offensive side of the ball. For Lafayette, we've just talked about the fact that this is a very good Georgetown defense. That being said, what do they need to do offensively?
Well, I think they're going to have to run the ball, and that's where, Georgetown hasn't done quite as well against the run, and that's what we're going to have to do. Go through Sherman, set up the pass, and, hopefully he has a good game so we can, have a good game by Blake Surfoss.
No doubt, he's been pretty effective. Even last week in the loss, 2 touchdowns, just 1 interception on a batted ball, as you mentioned. So he's been pretty solid. Defensively, the team, for the most part, has been pretty solid. But again, a lapse last week, 3 touchdowns in just a handful of minutes towards the end of the second quarter. What do they have to do today against the Hoya offense?
Well, if you look at the Lafayette Leopard defense over the last couple of years, it was really driven by the secondary. Last week, against Fordham, tough game, gave up some big plays. So I think you get back to your strengths, right? Who are the leaders on this team? The leaders come from the secondary. So the secondary should look to drive this team going forward. Limit the big plays, make short tackles when you can, and just get off the field.
All right, these keys brought to you by Corvius Campus Living. We thank them for their sponsorship of the keys to the game. Meanwhile, Lafayette trying to get its first Patriot League win. Last year, they won the championship, starting 3-0 in league play before a defeat. You guys think they're up to the challenge to get back to a 500 here?
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. They've got the Georgetown Hoyas. We've got the Leopards trying to get that 3rd consecutive win to start the year here at Fisher Stadium. And, of course, Gary and Mike will have the call call of all the action coming up in a minute. But a look at defense as we go to the break here. Check this out. Colton Kirkpatrick, no, you're going nowhere against my defensive line. Matt Rothrock gets a sack there, celebrates a little bit. Then as talked about by Maurice Bennett a few moments ago, this guy, Jared Roberts, has been clutch. We've got action coming up next with Kickoff on LSN.
Welcome back, Gary Laubach, along with Mike Joseph. We're ready to go down on the field for the coin toss. As the honorary coin tosser is Ian Jones, son of Pat Jones, class of '77, who passed away recently. Here's the call.
Georgetown will receive at this end.
So the Hoyas are going to get the football to start the game. Our officials for today's ball game: Matt Overton is the referee, Nick Pergine is the umpire, Frank Trevino, not Frank Tavani, Frank Trevino is the head line coach, Tommy Meehan the line coach or line judge, Greg Mota is the field judge, Matt Smith the side judge, and Steve Toll is the back judge. Tail of the Tape is presented by the Easton Hospital. If you need an ER fast, try their ER. With our 30 minutes or less ER pledge, you won't want to go anywhere else. As we look at the numbers, every week they're big people.
And look at the discrepancy between the size and the weight, really, of the offensive lines and the defensive lines. And that's where it starts for Lafayette today and really every week, is they need to control the line of scrimmage, get that run game going, just like Philly talked about. That'll open up everything else.
We'd like to go to a guys about 5'11", 170. Here's John Leone.
Yeah, 170 about 170 years ago. Hey, Gary, everybody knows that a football game is 60 minutes long, and last week's opener, Patriot League opener at Fordham, was painful in a lot of ways, but to put some perspective in it, for a 3-minute and 38-second span, Lafayette gave up 21 points and 201 total yards. Take away those 3 minutes, and the score was 21-18. Now, I'd love to go back and take a selected 3 minutes out of my life throughout the past years. Heck, I'd have my name on a building, and you guys would be playing Baltusrol on weekends as my guest. It is what it is. Lafayette really struggled last week, and as Michael, you mentioned, they need every game now to be in the hunt for a Patriot League championship. No better way to start than with the Fordham Hoyas, or the Georgetown Hoyas today. Back to you guys.
And John, just to put it into a little bit better perspective, Fordham beat Penn, or is beating Penn today, with 7 minutes to go in the third quarter, 50-22. That tells you about the Fordham Rams. It's Dan Wright and Joel Kimpella. Dan Wright will take the kickoff at about his own 3-yard line, and he will make a couple of moves and get it out over the 20, out to about the 22-yard line, where Kyle Nolan will bring the football team out. He's 6'5", 225, and a junior. He has completed 52% of his passes, 109 for 209 for 1,038 yards. He's thrown a couple of interceptions and 3 touchdowns. Not much of a runner. He's only gained 69 yards on the season, 1.5 yards per carry. They'll put the ball at the 21-yard line. Joel Kimpella is the running back. Back to throw is Nolan. He'll quick out here. That is caught. Nice job, as the ball looked like it was going to fall out of Simaluka's hands, but instead he did hang on to the football. Jared Roberts with the tackle. Here's Mike.
Well, you got to look at Kyle Nolan starting his 3rd straight game against Lafayette in the last 3 years, and they got some good wide receivers. Simaluka we just saw, obviously, but up front, Chappie Wingo, he's just a sophomore. Nick Quinton's right there. They're going to have to control the line of scrimmage, just like Lafayette. So they've worked hard on the inside running game, and obviously getting the ball out of Nolan's hands quick is very important.
Starting lineups presented by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Keeping the football and running with it is Joel Kimpella. He got the corner as he got inside that right tackle spot, cut it to the outside, and picks up a big gain before Jared Roberts is there to knock him out of bounds at the Lafayette 46-yard line. That's a 27-yard pickup.
Well, Kevin Liddy does a nice job right there on Dorner, and Dorner kind of gets tied up, really doesn't keep his leverage. Dorner's the defensive end, the 5 technique. Liddy did a nice job hooking him, and then it was just off to the races for Kimpella.
1st and 10 for Georgetown after that big play by Kimpella, who came in with just 306 yards rushing, firing the football, and that's a good catch. It's grabbing and moving it upfield to about the 35-yard line before the tackle made by Matt Smalley And Georgetown on the move as they'll move the chains again, a pickup of 11.
Well, Lafayette has come out again in that five defensive back set, just the 2 linebackers inside. The striker now again is Jared Roberts, JR, playing that wide outside here to the trip side right now. So 5 DBs for Lafayette, just 2 linebackers.
That was DeCinco's 28th catch of the season. Again, here's Kimpella. He gets the corner. Here comes a penalty flag. We're going to get a hold here as being held for Lafayette. Looked like Alex Alford got pulled down, and they'll bring back that good run by Kimpella and set another 10 yards negatively against the Rams.
Number 69 in the offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
Well, you said it, Gary. I don't know if we have it again, but Mercado, number 95, the left. We're going to take a look at the defensive starters here for Lafayette, and they did a good job so far this year. They've been very stout, tough job last week. Brandon Bryant's going to get a start inside. Obviously, you're going to see Brockman in there as well with Dodd, Smalley, James Roberts, and Philip Parham, the freshman, is going to be in there this week. So Lafayette putting a lot of athletes on the field.
1st and 20 now. This is the 18th game between these two teams. Lafayette leads the series 11-6. As there's a nice throw, and again, Matt Smalley is in on the tackle. Catching the football is Justin Hill, or is it Simaluka? It's Simaluka with the catch. 6, not 5. Another look.
Yeah, great break on the ball that time. Shane Black was trying to get out underneath that. He's got to widen. Anytime he sees quick game, the flat defenders, you got to get for width. Not worry about depth, get width. He would have been right in the throwing lane, but a good job by Smalley. Big down here to bring up a 3rd and long.
It is 2nd and 16. They picked up 3 yards on that pass play, and it was Justin Hill who made the catch. Back to throw, looking, Nolan steps up, and here's another penalty flag in the area of holding. So this one looks like it also may be coming back, as there's a flag sitting right now at the 44-yard line. Matt Smalley again having to make that tackle. Matt Smalley, who missed a couple of ball games back last week, and obviously involved on the defensive side this week. Fordham has won 3 of the last 4 ball games. Lafayette did win last year, 45-27. Here's the
chop block, number 69 and number 6. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, 2nd down.
Well, that illegal chop block, really, we'll take a look at it. Maybe we can see it. Really, when somebody's engaged high, look to the right of your screen here. When someone's engaged high, you can't go low. And it was right there. It was Brockman coming on basically an A-gap blitz. Somebody had picked him up and engaged him above the waist. And when you engage above the waist, nobody's allowed to go low. It's basically a dangerous play. We've seen that called a lot, not only in college, but in the NFL. That's a chop block, so you cannot do that. It's a big penalty. He's going to set them way back here. Lafayette, look for Lafayette to play some dime defense. You see 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and 5 defensive backs, with Roberts sitting dead over the middle of the field.
It's so dangerous, they penalize you 15 yards, and you'll notice they call 2 players as the offenders because you need 2 players for the chop block. Good hustle by Lafayette. Number 54 is Mark Dodd, the 6'2", 228-pound junior out of Wheeling, West Virginia. The middle linebacker will put the quarterback down at the 42, and that's a loss of 2.
Yeah, good job by Dodd coming out of coverage. Usually that middle linebacker, he's going to trace the quarterback. And when the quarterback breaks contain, and he does this again, so far Lafayette has lost contain twice. This time it was Bo Bosch, the freshman, but a good job by Dodd coming out of coverage. And just to mention, Gary, that on 3rd down convergence, Georgetown is 6th in the league. Lafayette is 7th, so both teams struggling on 3rd down.
And that'll count as a sack with the loss of 2. 3rd and 33. They will hand the ball off to Daniel Wright, and Wright will get it into Lafayette territory, but be acres shy of a first down. Tackle made by by number 91, Bo Bosch, and that will be a pickup of 9 yards, but Fordham will have to punt the ball away.
No, Georgetown came into the game just 2nd in the league, really not penalized that often. Lafayette 3rd in the league. Fordham penalized the most in the league with 48 total penalties, but these 2 big penalties right here kind of negate a nice drive that the Georgetown Hoyas got going. You see Jared Roberts, who had a nice return last week against Fordham, back deep.
Punting it is Harry McCollum. He averages 43 yards per punt. And Jarrett's going to try to field this one in. He avoids 1 tackler. Now he's got a little running room. And a nice job by Jared Roberts. He might question catching the football at the 5-yard line, but he makes everyone take away that question as the ball will be put at the 20 when we come back. That was a 44-yard punt. John Leone talks a lot. I'm not sure his interviewee does. Here's John.
No, he doesn't, Gary, but a great story nevertheless. The Lafayette football family spans generations, and they lost one of their own this past year, Pat Johnson, class of 77. You might notice that the Leopard is wearing number 70 in honor of Pat. He usually wears number 00. Mary Johnson, Pat's wife, won the coin toss along with her son. They were here as the honorary coin toss people, and Tom Feehan, a teammate of Pat's back in the 70s, remembers Pat fondly.
Right. He was a great teammate, a great friend, great fraternity brother, and we're very honored to dedicate a locker to him today in Berger Varsity House.
Pretty emotional time pregame. Thanks, folks, for joining us. Good job on the coin toss. Leo, get back to your work, baby. Talk to you later. Back to you guys.
All right, John, thank you very much. Blake Searfoss will throw the initial pass of the football game for Lafayette. He gets it to one of his favorite receivers now, and that's Ross Sherman. And that'll be a good pickup as Blake Searfoss, 33 for 56, 381 on the season. 4 touchdowns. He has thrown a couple of interceptions. That play will get the ball to the 35, a gain of 15 yards.
Yeah, you got a good look at Blake that time, just out of Flemington, New Jersey. He did a good job last week against Fordham. It took him a couple of plays to get initially ready to go, but did a great job.
This time he'll flip it out to Sherman again. So, Mike, it's already obvious they want to get the ball in the hands of Ross Sherman as often as they possibly can. He now has 22 catches on the year. Here's the offensive unit.
Well, you got Blake Searfoss there. Ross Sherman, really everything runs through him. Nice to have Demetrius Dixon. Missed him last week along with Justin Adams, who's still sitting out. I had a chance to talk to him with a concussion. Mike Duncan's going to get involved as well. But you see Ben Janot's going to start at center. And a nice position for Zach Mazer moving back out to right tackle.
2nd and 7. Here's Sherman running the football. Not much of a hole on the left side. He will get it to the 41, a gain of 3. Here is the outstanding Georgetown defense.
And they are good. We talked about how they're ranked in the league. Alec May, none better at defensive end. He will be a first-team All-Patriot League player. Nick Alfieri in the middle. Where's number 35? Gary will talk about that a little bit later. And in the secondary, they lost a few guys, but 18 Scott is a good one along with David Akers. So they are a formidable defense. They don't give up a lot of yardage on the ground.
Yeah, point-wise, they're 2nd in the Patriot League, 21st in the nation. As far as turnovers are concerned, they're a +7, which is leading the Patriot League, and 12th in the nation. Searfoss wants a tuck, and he's going to fumble the ball, and now who has it? It looks like possibly Brian Keller could have fallen on that ball. If he did, this is going to be a first down because the ball moved forward. Tackle was made by Miles Braxton Johnson, and that will move the chains, so a fortuitous fumble for Lafayette that gets them the first down.
Yeah, you wonder if someone can fumble the ball forward. Really can't do it on 4th down, but on 3rd down right here you see Blake's going to reach out a little bit, and he does lose the football before he gets there. Right there, and Johnny on the spot. Keller picks it up, doesn't get a catch, but he gets a fumble recovery, and it results in a first down. Lafayette coming out with a lot of empty sets. You're going to see probably Ross Sherman come in motion, try to get him the football again.
Here's a quick slant pattern, and it's intercepted. As coming up with the interception is Garrett Powers, his 2nd interception of the year. That one should have been caught. I don't think you blame the quarterback on that throw, but that will end up being another turnover that goes to Georgetown. They are great at it.
Yeah, sometimes in the years it just comes, but you can see Georgetown playing a lot of zone coverage, and Searfoss trying to fit the ball in between Alfieri there and the other player to the inside, the linebacker. Just a tough play right there for Mike Duncan. Ball was thrown a hair behind him. I think Mike came up limping on that one, but he'll tell you that's one of the ones he should have caught.
So the ball is placed on the 43-yard line. Kimpella in the backfield along with Nolan at quarterback. And it's 1st and 10 after the turnover. Keeping the ball is Nolan. Big hole on the right side. Nolan stays on his feet. He's a bit of a load to bring down. As we mentioned, he's 6'5", 225. And there's Matt Smalley again to make the tackle at the Lafayette 43-yard line, a gain of 14 yards.
Well, kind of taking a page out of everybody's book here. Lafayette struggles with quarterbacks that can run, and really Nolan's not really known for this, but put it in, take it out. He read it perfectly. The defensive end that time just closed down. That was Dorner. He closed down hard, and he just did the right thing. He pulled it to the open field, got what he could, and then got down.
1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. They gave him 15 yards on that run. Lafayette showing blitz. Here comes Kimpella. He'll cut back and step out of a tackler. He's running hard. Number 22 is out of the Congo, 5'11", 195-pound junior, as he is tackled by Shane Dorner. at the Lafayette 27-yard line. That's a 15-yard pickup, back-to-back 15-yard gain.
Yeah, nice job inside that left side of that the offensive line. Quittens and Liddy did a nice job. Wingo and rolling up there as well. The center is new today. Jervis Flagg, he's going to play today. This is his first start.
1st and 10. Nolan back, screen pass, and it's well set up. As again, Kimpella will take it down the left side and get knocked out of bounds at the 22-yard line by Matt Smalley. A gain of 5. That was nicely set up. Good blocking in front.
Yeah, Georgetown doing a good job right now, kind of outflanking Lafayette to one side or the other. They're really kind of owning the edge. You saw before one of the defensive ends for Lafayette get hooked. That time they ran the screen back into the boundary. Very well done by Nolan, a big quarterback. Good footwork inside.
Georgetown started the season by beating Wagner and Dayton, then they lost 2 in a row, Marist and Brown. Nice fake, throw it off into your tight end, and Matt Buckman is there to make the tackle, or make the catch. Buckman with his 19th catch of the year, and they are inside the 10-yard line, down to the 7, another 15-yard pickup.
Yeah, just scripted plays, little fake inside here. You see Brockman coming on the blitz. He kind of gets tied up in no man's land, can't get to Nolan, and it's an easy throw for Nolan to the number 3 receiver right down the middle of the field.
Last week, losing to Harvard by a 34-3 score, so 2-3 on the season, 0-1 in the Patriot League. Fake the handoff, Nolan back, looking, he'll flip out here in the flat, and it's going to be a touchdown for the big tight end, I think. Yeah, there's the signal. Looked pretty obvious from up here. Matt Buckman's going to get his first touchdown of the year, and it'll be a 7-yard touchdown pass from Kyle Nolan. Nolan's 4th touchdown throw.
Yeah, it just kind of slipped out and really looked like Lafayette didn't have anybody on him. We'll take another look at it right here, but he's going to slide right from the backside, and it's a good formation. They had him set on the right side as the wing to the right of Nolan, and he slipped out the backside that time, so one of the linebackers kind of lost him in the shuffle. An easy touchdown throw for Nolan.
So the extra point, the kick is up, and the kick is good by Ben Pretty. And just like that, not so pretty for the Leopards here in the first quarter. They're down by 7. 7:30 to go. Leopards will have the football when we come back. Back and look at the final play of a 5-play 57-yard drive. Here's Mike.
Well, Buckman's going to start at that right wing, the 3rd receiver in right next to the tackle. Now watch what he does here. Let it roll. He's going to go opposite the flow, and then the linebacker coming out. Not sure if Dodd had him or Brockman, but when you take a receiver from the front side to the back side, very easy to lose that receiver in the mix that time. Almost a hide and drag from Buckman, but very well set up and a very impressive drive by the Hoyas.
Well, Kyle Nolan was 6 for 6 for 47 yards. He used 5 different receivers, and Matt Buckman caught the last 2 for 22 yards, one of them the touchdown. Matt Smalley will bobble the ball, pick it up at the 7-yard line, and Matt Smalley looking to get to the outside and just cannot quite squeeze between the sandwich. Wardell Crutchfield is there to make the tackle. He got some help from Javon Robinson. So Lafayette will have the ball for their 2nd possession, but there's a flag down on the field, so hold everything.
Yeah, it's back in an area where it might be a block in the back for Lafayette. You know, when the receiver drops the football, it kind of screws all the timing up.
Number 33 of the receiving team. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
So that's called against Brandon Bryant, and it is a half the distance to the goal line penalty, depending on where it occurred. It looked like it occurred around the 16-yard line. It must have, because they're going to put the ball on the 8. So instead of pretty good field position around the 27, they'll get the football at the 8-yard line against a team that is nationally ranked in turnover ratio. So 1st and 10, if you're inquisitive about the health of Drew Reed, he is available today, probably will not play. He's listed as the 3rd string quarterback, but he is throwing the football. Lake Steerfoss has done well. There is Ross Sherman trying to get to the outside and does a nice job of picking up about 6 yards on that carry before he is hemmed in and brought down by Porter Huntley.
Well, Ross was trying to take that one into the boundary. Lafayette had really run that stretch play to this side of the field, and he cut that one all the way back. I think Coach probably have him take that one a little bit further, kind of test the waters on that front side. Lafayette changing personnel, just now 1 tight end, 1 running back, 3 wides.
2nd and 4. Sherman again, no. kept by Sirfas. He'll fire it out here for first down and more. Moving it upfield on a nice little move is number 82. That's Mike Duncan, his 10th catch of the year. And he is knocked out of bounds by Garrett Powers, but not before they move the chains. Here's Mike.
Yeah, nice job. Quick fake inside, really holds the linebackers, and a good throw out in front of Duncan. That's twice now Surface has completed the bubble, and he's done a nice job throwing it out in front of Duncan, allowing him to catch the football going forward, and that made him get the first down.
They got 11 yards on the play to the 25-yard line. Here comes Sherman again. Got a decent hole, and he gets hit pretty much immediately after he crosses the line of scrimmage, as it looked like it might have been Matt Satchel from his outside linebacker position who met him head on at the 29, a gain of 4.
Georgetown's kind of known for stemming up front, and that time they did it. Remember a couple of years ago, Lafayette on this field had some problems with the stemming. In other words, defensive linemen moving prior to the snap from one leverage to another. They did it on that play. It kind of hurt Georgetown because they stemmed right away from where Lafayette was running the football. But again, those guys up front for Lafayette, they have to own the line of scrimmage today.
Peter Davies also in on the tackle, and he is the defensive tackle for Georgetown. 2nd and 6. Sherman in the backfield with Sirfas, and Sherman will fumble the football, and it's picked up and taken towards the end zone, as grabbing the ball in the air was Davies. Peter Davies takes another turnover from Lafayette and takes the ball down to the 13-yard line on the fumble. Oh my, a bad start for the Leopards.
Well, just as we talked to it, but you can see that they're going to stem to the weak side, basically an over defense, and that screws up the blocking scheme. And when you get that, it happens inside. The right guard, Max Ngola, he had a guy in that gap which was not there prior to the stem. And when he did that, the center left too early. That's Janot. He left too early, left Ngola by himself and a guy that had leverage on him, and that allowed the defensive lineman to just shoot right up the field and make a play.
Just an awful start so far for the Lafayette offense. They've turned it over twice on 2 possessions. From the 13, Nolan will throw a quick one out here, as that's caught by Jake DeSico. He doesn't get much because Jared Roberts comes up and closes quickly, and it looks like he just got back to the line of scrimmage. No gain.
And you can see they really trust in Nolan. He's had some good games. Sometimes guys just have your number. Nolan led a drive 2 years ago on this field to put them in field goal range to beat Lafayette 20-17. He looks very comfortable, and they're letting him throw the football down the field.
Kimpella comes out of the ball game. That brings Daniel Wright in at running back. He averages 5 yards per carry, and a 2nd and 10, 5 minutes to go first quarter. And he will not get the ball. He gets a fake instead. Nolan will throw it back to him. And now making a move headed towards the end zone. That's a nicely designed play and a fumble on the play, but it looks like Georgetown came up with the football. So it is an elusive football right now down on the field, but so far everything has gone Georgetown's way. Down to the 2-yard line, a gain of 11 and a first down.
Some misdirection. Georgetown showing that they're going to grow one way and throw the screens back. Watch, they're going to move away from the pocket. They're going to throw the ball back, and Chris Brockman right here misses the tackle, but a nice job getting down the field by Matt Rothrock, just coming out the way he went in. The big defensive lineman causes that fumble, but Lafayette can't come up with it.
Joel Kimpella in the backfield. He does not have a touchdown this season. He'll get the ball here, looking for his first one. He won't get it this time, as he stopped immediately at the line of scrimmage. Cleaning things up was James Kasha. At the bottom of that pile, it looks like Alex Alford is in there along with Mercado. No gain on the play. 2nd and goal to go from the 2.
A pretty good red zone offense. Georgetown right now, actually, they're last in the league in the offense in the red zone. Just 8 of 11, 72%. So in the Patriot League, they do not score very often down here with touchdowns.
See Brandon Bryant trying to get his shoe back on in time for the play. He's ready to go. 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. And it again, Kimpella. This time he can't get in either. Good job by Lafayette's pursuit. Initial hit came from Matt Rothrock. Number 94, he did pick up a yard. And there's a penalty flag down on the field, so hold everything.
Yeah, just trying to run the stretch play back in here. And again, I think it's going to be a hold. Rothrock was being held.
The
chop block.
Number 77 and number 69. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, second down.
Kevin Liddy and Chappie Wingo. First time we've mentioned Chappie in the ball game. Certainly no accolades there. We'll talk about him in a minute. Here's Mike.
Well, look at the right side of your screen. It's actually right on the center that time. It was on Mercado. The center took him high. The backside guard tried to chop him or cut him. Again, you can't go high and low. It's a defensive thing. It's a security thing. Don't want to get anybody hurt, but you can see where this drives Coach Scarlatti just crazy. They're in the red zone ready to put this game up 14-0, and a penalty drives them way back here. Lafayette's got to look for screen, draw, and Nolan using his legs.
They now have committed 36 penalties on the year, the exact same number as Lafayette. Second and goal to go from the 17. They hand it to Campella. He'll get inside the 15 down to the 11 as Matt Smalley makes the tackle. A gain of 6. We mentioned Chappie Wingo. He is the son of Trey Wingo of ESPN. So we've got John Gruden's son here. Chappie Wingo is here, the son of Trey Wingo. I bet there's a lot of money being bet at ESPN
back in the
this
office.
week.
Yeah, there's a lot of pools. There's a look at Chappie Wingo. I talked to Trey last year down at Georgetown. Just came in as a freshman, so he's a sophomore, and obviously they like him a lot if he's starting at right guard for them. So right now, trips to the top of the screen. Lafayette's got to look for some drags and things coming across the field.
Third and goal to go. Back Nolan, one-on-one into the end zone. Matt Smalley with the defense. As he breaks that pass up, it is incomplete, and that will bring on field goal kicker Ben Pretty to see if they can pick up 3 after the turnover. Good job by the Lafayette defense.
Yeah, great job that time on the outside, but the corner for Lafayette just doing the things that he does, and he's just a terrific player. Matt Smalley kind of questioned the call offensively as why you would go at probably the best defensive back in the league in Matt Smalley instead of to the trips that time, but he tried his side, and Smalley was up to the task.
And let me correct myself. It's Henry Darmstadter who is in to kick the field goal. He's 5 for 5 on the year. He has a 44-yarder. He balked on the play, and the ball is blocked by Lafayette. Trying to pick it up was Smalley. He could not. Doesn't matter who recovers it. It's going to be Lafayette football. Smalley, however, looks like he's shaken up on the play, and let's get a look at it again and see who got their arms up here.
It's coming from the top of the screen right there, and it's Philip Parham. Philip Parham goes right in. If he didn't block it, I think Brockman would have blocked it, but right here you see Smalley tries to pick it up, and I think he just kind of turns his ankle a little bit on that acceleration. He's still down on the ground. I think he's going to be okay, but right there you get a good look at Smalley. Great job by Parham, and the Lafayette defense steps up. A big special teams play.
Yeah, Smalley may have got stepped on his back. John Leone has a report.
Thank you, Gary. Thanks, Michael. We'll check on Matt as soon as I'm able to. But, Michael, you guys alluded to it. Georgetown has been very good this year at turning Lafayette over. Not only that, to add to the problem, they come into Fisher Field and they seem to play with a different level of confidence. This team always seems to give Lafayette problems here at home. So turning the ball over 2 times in the first quarter is just huge. Lafayette dodged a big-time bullet, keeping Georgetown out of the end zone, and of course the big special teams play. But Lafayette's going to have to answer that early touchdown, and they've got to take better care of the football. Back to you guys.
The spots down on the field, explain what they're all about.
Well, those are special team spots, Gary. You can see, you count them up, there's 11 of them, and when you have a kickoff team ready to take the field, you call kickoff. Well, all 11 of those spots have to be filled. You got to make sure you have 11 guys on the field. If it's kickoff return, same thing. There's a timeout. But the tough part is when you're in punt and punt return, you may have 3 or 4 guys on the field. Say you have 3 defenders on the field, you're ready for punt return. 3 on the field, 8 in the box. So those spots, I know a lot of people ask me, what are those things? They are spots for special teams players to stand on to make sure the special teams coach has the right amount of players. You don't have 12, you don't have 10, and that makes sure that you always have 11.
There's Matt Smalley, who already in this ball game has been terrific. And as we mentioned, he's got that very tender ankle, and it looked like the left ankle again was injured on the play. So Lafayette will start this drive on their own 44-yard line. And a good job by the defense. Carrying the ball is Deshaun Brown, the freshman who has had a good first year. He'll take it into Fordham territory to the 49-yard line. He'll pick up 7 yards on his first carry of the game. Nice part is now you can play Deshaun Brown and you can keep Ross Sherman in there as a receiver. Ross not in there right now. From the 49, 2nd and 3. Here, is this going to be a false start?
Illegal snap, number 7 to the offense, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Well, Ben Janot getting his first start this season, and He had a little snap problem there.
And that comes from the stemming again. They have to be aware of that, Lafayette. Georgetown is going to move, and they're going to move their linemen defensively from one lineman to another. The linemen have to be aware of that, concentrate on the snap count. That's accountability.
Inside of 2 minutes, first quarter. And they'll give the ball to Deshaun. Deshaun will bounce off of one. He can't bounce off of more than one. And he'll get it to the 49. He'll pick up 3, but after the 5-yard penalty, Lafayette will be well shy of the first down. That tackle was made by Nick Alfieri. Where's number 35? John's going to talk about number 35 when he has an opportunity. He came into the game 4th all-time in tackles at Georgetown. He now has 280 of them. He's first this season. That's his 63rd tackle of the year. Back to throw on a 3rd and 5. Blake Surface. That one is dropped. As that ball thrown low to avoid any interception possibility, and Mike Duncan could not hang on to the football. Another look.
I don't even think he would have had the first down. Mike's got to pick up 5. He goes down about 5 and comes back to 4. Should have been caught, but I think he would have been a half a yard short of the first down. So right now Lafayette trying to give Blake Surface some easy throws, and that's a pitch and catch that should have been made. That's why Lafayette right now last in the league in 3rd down conversions.
So Lafayette will punt the ball away. Their punter, Ryan Forrester, has had a good year, 39.4 yards per punt, but they're high normally and tough to return. And this one falls right into that category. DeSico caught it at the 19, and he stayed at the 19. Good coverage by Parrish Simmons, a young man from Nazareth, just about 20 minutes away.
Yeah, Parrish did a nice job. Saw him warming up before practice. He's gotten bigger. If you remember him at Nazareth, he was a quarterback, really a running a veer quarterback type of guy. Played a little bit of defense when he got to prep school at Avon Old Farms, but did a real nice job down there. He's playing more and more for Lafayette. Lafayette's got a lot of freshmen on the field. And right now they're going with 5 defensive backs, both Parham in the game at the bottom of your screen.
1st and 10 from the 20. Here comes Kimpella. Joel with another big hole. They're opening up some nice holes, Mike, on both sides of that offensive line. Tackle made by Shane Black, and the gain is up to the 28 or 29. Call it to 28, a gain of 8.
That's a little bit of misdirection. You can see like looking out, Nolan out to his right, and then he's just basically handing the football off, coming back to his left. So a little bit of misdirection. Lafayette getting caught staring in the backfield a little bit at Nolan. Got to read their keys, get off some blocks up front defensively.
We mark it at the 29, so it is a 9-yard pickup, 2nd and 1. Back to throw. Quick throw out here to Justin Hill. Hill will turn it upfield. I thought he stepped out of bounds, but they say no. They're going to run all the way down with him to the 50-yard line. That play got a lot more yardage than it should have. A 21-yard gain before Hill gets run out of bounds by Draylon James.
Well, Philip Parham, the corner's unblocked. Watch, he's going to throw it out quick. It's one-on-one in the open field. Parham goes to the legs that time. Looks like he stepped out of bounds. You're right, Gary. Back around the 35-yard line.
Yeah, I thought the officials missed that.
Yeah, I think they did miss that one. But midfield now, and Nolan directing another good drive right here for the Hoyas.
1st and 10, right at midfield. 9 for 10 for 69 yards and a touchdown. That has been Kyle Nolan's day to this point. The clock has run out on the first quarter, and boy, it belonged to the Hoyas. As you get a look at the only touchdown so far to Matt Buckman, the big tight end from Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey. We'll be back. We start the second period on the Lafayette Sports Network. Gary Laubach, Mike Joseph, glad you're with us. John Leone down on the field, and Beat Bowman has sharpened his pencil to bring us the important numbers in today's ball game. Back to throw Nolan. And Kyle Nolan flips one downfield as he was trying to go big. Oh, that is what an acting job that time by Daniel Wright. They're going to call pass interference, and I hope we have a look at this because I don't think Jared Roberts did anything.
I'm speechless. It was an awful call. It was 5 yards overthrown. It's just a terrible, terrible call by the back judge. And they're talking it over. I think someone might even call off the back judge because it was everybody was watching it. It was a wheel route. They're going to call it.
There's no foul on the play. The pass was uncatchable. 2nd down.
Not only was it uncatchable, it was unpass interferenceable. Take a look here.
Yeah, you're going to catch it right here And what you do, and again, I coached defensive backs for 9 years.
Watch him throw his hands up to get an Emmy.
And what you try to do is you want to basically hook the wrist. And when you slow someone's wrist down, you slow them down. So you're taught basically to cup the wrist. And you saw Jared Roberts do that on the wheel route, but the ball was well overthrown.
Second and 10, almost a high snap, but they do hand the ball off to Daniel Wright. And Wright gets good yardage. Let's go to John Leone.
Thanks, Gary. A very busy Lafayette sideline. 2 significant injuries to report on. Matt Smalley has an ankle sprain. He's going to be evaluated for the second half. Mike Duncan got his bell rung. As we speak, he's in the Berger Varsity Football House taking all the necessary precautions for the concussion syndrome. Back to you guys.
All right, John, not good news from the sidelines. 3rd and 4 now from the 44. And they'll get the first down. Good hard running by Daniel Wright as he breaks through the line of scrimmage to the 36-yard line. Tackled by Mark Dodd and picks up 8 yards and moves the chains.
Yeah, what they're doing right now is they're taking advantage of the offensive line, just really getting on quick hitters inside, not allowing the defensive line that time on levels. That time Rothrock penetrated, but everybody else was really on the line of scrimmage, and what he did was just cut it back off of Rothrock. So a lot of penetration by the defensive line of Lafayette, creating some levels right now for running game.
1st and 10 from the 36. Comes the handoff. Wright trying to cut back against the grain and cuts back right into Lafayette linebackers, led by Mark Dodd again. But he does pick up positive yardage, a gain of 2.
Georgetown doing a good job right now, kind of mixing it up, throwing the football a few times here or there, running it. Good disparity between their run and their pass. So Coach Carlotta really coming in here, got some good things going. Remember, we talked about they played well last week at Harvard. 10-3. They had a chance to go in and tie that football game and ended up 34-3. But they're a good football team.
Yeah, Harvard scored a bunch in a hurry. Nolan back, and that's going to be a good catch. He finds his favorite receiver so far, Matt Buckman. And he is hit immediately by Draylon James, but not before they get to the 26. They pick up 8, and once again, first down, number 9.
Yeah, Draylon James all over Buckman that time. Look to the right of your screen, just a quick throw, and this is one that Lafayette tried to do. Go down about 6 yards, hook up. Draylon James real high on the receiver that time, had a chance to break it up, but give Buckman a lot of credit. He's got 3 catches so far, 1 for a touchdown.
1st and 10 from the 26. This drive started on their own 20-yard line. They have moved it 54 yards already here. With the ball is Joel Kimpella. Kimpella will get it down inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Mark Dodd with another tackle. And another nice chunk of yardage, 7 yards.
Watch the top of your screen. Watch Rothrock here. He's got to penetrate. So now you create levels. This is what I'm talking about. On the backside, Mercado's getting cut. So Rothrock creates space up the field. Mercado's still on the line of scrimmage, and that's the different levels that they're opening up. Lafayette would be better defensively right now up front to just hold their ground, play their gap, and not penetrate so much.
Georgetown led by first-year head coach Rob Scarlatta, who served as an assistant coach for a number of years. That pass is incomplete. That's probably the first poor throw that Nolan has had in the game. Cinco was the intended receiver. The ball low and outside.
Big 3rd down right here. We talked about Georgetown. Just 25 of 85 coming in on 3rd down conversions today. There are 1 of 3. And penalties have forced them out of field goal range on the last drive, and they've got blocked. So I think they want to pick this up badly.
They've been able to run for this kind of yardage, then they'll do it again. And a good job by Kimpella as he just simply lowered the shoulder, took on that Lafayette tackler, and he ran right over Draylon James for the 19-yard touchdown run, the first touchdown of the year for Joel Kimpella.
That Lafayette defense looks like a little bit of a hangover right now from last week's tough game against Fordham. But again, they take down inside. You get a missed tackle right there. Draylon James steps up. He misses the tackle. Dennis Benchko gets there, but watch this one-on-one in the hole right here. Draylon James misses the tackle. A good, strong run by Kimpella. And they're going to take a 14-0 lead. There's a penalty flag. Lafayette had 12 men.
So they will quickly run one off the field. Extra point from Darmstadter.
Illegal substitution, 12 men on the defense. Penalties declined. Try.
Mike, what happened to all those dots? If you only have 11 dots, how do you have 12 guys?
What you had is you probably had 5 or 6 defenders on the field, and extra point field goal is tough because usually you just leave your defense out there. But maybe somebody came on the field for Bo Bosch, and he didn't realize he was coming out. He's a freshman.
Kick is up, and Darmstadter, who has not missed an extra point all year, puts that one through. 11:58 to go in the second quarter. It's been all Hoyas. 14-0. Stay with us. The Patriot League standings are presented by Coordinated Health, the team that cares for the Lafayette Leopards. That's the way it looked coming into today's action. We can update you on a few scores. Fordham beat Penn today 60-22. Colgate loses to Princeton by a 30-28 score. That's a final. Holy Cross loses to Brown today 27-24. That's a final. And Lehigh loses to Bucknell 45-24. So Lehigh goes 0-1 in the league and now 0-5 on the season. After their bye week, they do not come away with a victory. So here's the kickoff. The Leopards trailing by a couple of touchdowns. Comes down to the 8-yard line, and twisting and turning his way is Daryl Crawford. And Daryl Crawford will get it out to the 40-yard line. Nice run back.
Yeah, really what Lafayette needed right there. Crawford going back there with the loss of Smalley, and they really don't want to put Sherman back there as well. So that time it was Francis and it was Crawford back there. He did a nice job just hitting the hole, getting up inside. Lafayette with good field position here. They were set back earlier on their second drive by a block in the back here. So Surfos got to get something going right now. Lafayette with 1 tight end, 1 running back. Got to get Sherman going on the ground.
Back to throw. Surfos will throw underneath, and Demetrius Dixon drops the football. They're falling on her like it's a fumble, but it's just an incomplete pass. And it must be a slippery football today because everybody is losing control of it, and that one should have been caught.
Yeah, Dixon looking upfield before he caught the ball, and you got to think maybe with the lack of practices that he's had, he hasn't played much this entire year and still been very, very quiet. That time had his head upfield before he was catching the football, ran with it a little early. Rocco Palumbo down here to the bottom with him, and Sherman in the slot at the top. So 2 tailbacks in the game right now.
Take the handoff, and this time they throw it over the middle, and that is caught by the freshman, Matt Marazzi. Good-looking freshman out of LaGrange, Illinois, 6'4", 210, and he's tackled by Daniel Yakovich, but not before he gets it into Hoya territory with a 48, a gain of 12.
Yeah, nice fake inside, holds the linebacker. You hit Marazzi. You know, Marazzi's one of those guys, kind of a plug and play. We talked about him. We're not having Tim Vangelis today. 2 running backs in the game for Lafayette right now. 2 tailbacks.
Deshaun makes a nice cut, gets to the outside, gets the corner. Nice run by Lafayette's Deshaun Brown. He also is a freshman, tackled on the play by Etienne Scott. He's from Okinawa, Japan.
Yeah, good kick out block there and a nice job on the outside by Mazer. Springs Deshaun Brown, but you can see what Mickey Fine's doing. He's having both Deshaun Brown in the game with Sherman, motioning Sherman out. This is going to be Sherman.
So after the 16-yard pickup, Sherman picks his way through. A nice hole on the left side, gets it inside the 25. Looks like he's down to the 24-yard line. John Egan, the free safety, makes the tackle. Gain of 8. They're hurrying it up.
Yeah, Lafayette tempoing it right now. Get the ball out to Sherman. Little fake.
Surfos going long, and he had a man on the inside, and it's just a little too high for Matt Marazzi. It'll go down as an incomplete pass.
Well, they put Sherman in the bubble that time. When you fake the bubble to Sherman, you have to honor it. Take a quick look here. Sherman's going to be the 3rd guy in. A little fake to the bubble screen, trying to open things up, but give Georgetown a lot of credit. That was a nice job on the backside that time by Porter Huntley, covering the freshman, the tall freshman receiver, Marazzi, down the field. 3rd and 3, Gary. Huge. Got to pick this up. Got to have it. They are on the edge of field goal range.
So Sherman's in the backfield with Surfos. He doesn't get it. They'll do a quick flip out here. That'll get the first down. Demetrius Dixon will get down inside the 20, out to the 19 or 18-yard line of the Hoyas. He is tackled with a good tackle by Garrett Powers. Got right down on the ankles. That'll be a pickup of 7 yards. Lafayette first down.
Yeah, so many times last year you and I talked about the Lafayette offense working outside in. Well, that's what Mickey Fine's doing right now, working outside in.
This time they hand off as a run will get about a yard at best. Ross Sherman, the ball carrier. 2nd and 9.
And it didn't look like much, that play, but it really should have gone. I think it was going to be a touchdown, and one of the offensive linemen inside, I think it was Connor Stautel or maybe Janot, had missed a block, and on the outside, Charlanzio had turned his man out. Could have been a big, big play.
Again with the football, Ross Sherman. And he'll get it down inside the 15, down to the 12-yard line. That's a pickup of 6. So Lafayette will look at another 3rd and 3, Mike, as that tackle made by Alfieri.
Yeah, and you kind of wonder right now what the thoughts are for Coach Tavani, as you're going to see the speed sweep right here, getting Ross Sherman in good space. Good job by Charlanzio right there. Stautel grabbing some shirt. Could have been called on Alfieri for a hold. But this is a big down. You wonder maybe if Coach Tavani's thinking, a touchdown's going to go a lot further than a field goal.
They're going to have all wideouts. 2 to the bottom of your screen, 3 to the top of your screen. The lone setback's here 5. He's getting a little bit of a blitz. He can step up. Now he can run all the way. Looking to get into the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 1-inch line. Oh, so close to a touchdown. He needed a dozen. We can only give him 11. It'll be 1st and goal to go from the 1.
I almost went through the window, Gary. I was reach out a little bit. But a nice job by Blake. This is what we talk about each week when you wonder when I say climb the pocket. Dude, nice job that time by Blake climbing the pocket.
By the way, Mike scored, but they didn't. So they give the ball to Ross Sherman, and he gets that final yard for the touchdown. Nice drive by the Leopards as they go 60 yards in 10 plays. And that touchdown for Ross Sherman now ties him for 6th place all time with Leonard Moore.
Yeah, well, things are all well in Leopard land right now. Nice job. Connor Stautel gets around. Nice block there. Just kind of logs the linebacker and allows Sherman to get into the end zone. But really nice job by Blake on 3rd and 3 to set that touchdown up.
Ryan Graylish with the extra point. The kick is up. The kick is good. We've got ourselves a 1-touchdown ball game now, 14-7, as the Leopards get on the board. They use 2 minutes and 40 seconds in that drive. And with a report down on the field is John Leone.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Gary. During that drive, Mickey Fine, I think, a great call going to the hurry up. And, it's basketball season has started, so forgive me here, but I have to the reaction of the Lafayette football team was almost like a full court press. They needed to do something to change the tempo, and the hurry up offense seemed to catch Georgetown back on their heels. A great call by offensive coordinator Frank Tavani, staying real positive with his troops down here on the sideline. Back to you guys.
John, here's how they changed the tempo last year against Georgetown. 3 interceptions. Here's Mike.
Yeah, and the first one's going to be Jared Roberts. This game really kind of got out of hand. Jared Roberts going to take this one away, and then we're going to see Draylon James pick this off in the middle of the field, the 2nd interception of his career. And then DeMarcus Ingram, we haven't seen a lot of him this year, picks the ball off. That's their 3rd interception. And let's go back to what John talked about real quick, is the fast up-tempo. What they did is Mickey Fine went on a quicker count, didn't allow that defensive line to stem, less mistakes up front. Great job by Mickey Fine and his staff.
Kickoff is high. It's end over end. And it will come down to DeSico, and DeSico will get it out to the 20-yard line before he is tackled by Dennis Benchko. And the Hoyas will have it 1st and 10 at the 20, exactly where they started their drive last time, and they went 80 yards in 10 plays.
Yeah, this is a big series for Lafayette right now. Got to shut down the run, and then obviously got to play good defense on 3rd down. Right now, 2 for 4 the Hoyas are on 3rd down, but they have rushed the ball already in this game for 121 yards in a little over a quarter.
I have been impressed with their running attack, and it doesn't seem to matter if it's Joel Kimpella in there or Daniel Wright in there. Both of them have run the ball quite well. This time they'll hand the ball off to Daniel Wright, and Wright will pick up 4 yards to the 24-yard line before he is hit by Lafayette's Bo Bosch. Talk about a good-looking freshman. Bo Bosch has been outstanding since coming into the starting lineup. Mark Dodd also in on the tackle.
Yeah, long and lean, got those long arms, and really that's what you want. You separate from those offensive linemen, and the rushing offense for Georgetown comes into this game last in the league, just averaging 3.2 yards a rush. Today, a little over 9.
Again, they hand the ball off, and again, a big hole opened up, and Stepping out of about 3 tacklers is Daniel Wright. Lafayette just not wrapping, Mike. They've had a number of occasions where they've hit the running back. They just haven't brought him down. Jared Roberts is there to make the hit along with Phil Parham. But that's a big Georgetown gain to the 41, a pickup of 17.
Yeah, pretty sure tackler right there. You see Mark Dodd. He just kind of knocks Shane Black off. The two of them are on the ground, and Wright continues to run. Watch Dodd right here. You kind of wonder, with the 2 physical games Lafayette played, Wagner and Fordham, if that hasn't worn them down just a little bit, because they're missing a lot of tackles here early.
Like, this team's averaging 10.7 points a game. Their offense has been part of their problem all season long. Today, their offense looks pretty darn good. Nice play by Jared Roberts as he makes the tackle on Daniel Wright. There's a gain of 1 on the completion.
And I think it's kind of a combination of both. Obviously, they're pumped up to come in here. They think they haven't played their best football yet. And the fact that we just talked about Lafayette being a little bit worn down and really kind of trying to do too much. Got to be accountable for your job, especially up front on that defensive line. Get off blocks, make plays.
2nd and 9. Rolling with the ball is Nolan. He's looking. Guys got all tangled up. Luckily, Nolan did not see Harrison Glore downfield. Harrison Glore had broken away from the Lafayette defensive secondary. He was all by himself. A throw would have been a touchdown.
Absolutely. He was tied up with Philip Parham. You're going to see him roll out here, and Lafayette loses contain again. Bo Bosch goes inside. And right now, as Bosch goes inside, one of those linebackers, whether it's Brockman or Bryant or Dodd, they got to come out of coverage, because if Bosch is going to take the inside gap, the B gap, and allow Nolan outside, got to have a linebacker coming around or a defensive lineman. So a blown assignment right there from the linebackers.
Get a good look at head coach Rob Scarlatta. Frank Devani, of course, in his 15th season as the head coach at Lafayette. Frank with 4 Patriot League championships. Lafayette the defending Patriot League champion. Fake the handoff. Nolan back. He'll go a quick out. And turning it upfield and getting extra yardage is Simaluka. Michael Simaluka out of Fairfield, New Jersey. As that tackle made by Dennis Benchko. And it's going to be shy of a first down at the 30 or at the 41-yard line, a gain of 7.
Staying on schedule, that's what you want to do. 2nd down and 3. No better placed offensively as a coordinator or quarterback to be in a situation where you have the defense guessing run or pass. And right here, 2nd and 3, that calls that up.
Big play here. They have been able to run the ball in these situations. Here they come again. Lafayette trying to stretch it out. But no, again, a first hit does not bring the ball carrier down. Joel Kimpella gets the extra yardage, and there is a flag down, however, and there may be holding here, but there's also a flag in the secondary. So this may be against Lafayette.
Well, I was probably 110 yards away from the play, and there were 4 holds that I saw. All the Lafayette guys complaining about being held.
Georgetown looks like they're moving backwards.
I think this would be their 3rd holding call of the game.
Personal foul, face mask, number 79 of the offense. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, 2nd down.
Well, that's the last call we expected to see, but it is against Georgetown. They've been penalized 65 yards already in this game on just 4 penalties. So all but one of them have been the 15-yard variety.
And that face mask is going to happen down the field, really. See the backside getting cut right there, and then the front side just continues to run. Mercado looks like he's getting held. Roberts was getting held, but it turned out to be a face mask and only a 2nd down and long.
You wouldn't have had enough flags in your pocket for all those calls. 2nd and 13. Nolan back. Nolan stepping up. Now Nolan running around. And he finally sees the cave-in caused by Shane Dorner of State College, but there's a flag down, and now this one might be against Lafayette.
This one came very, very late, Gary. It came after the whistle was blown. Not sure what the call is going to be here, but Dorner was a little twist with Mercado inside, and it looks like they're going to back up even more.
Yeah, this is going to go against Georgetown. They're headed backwards.
After the play, personal foul, number 77 of the offense. 15-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Yeah, I was going to say it should stay 3rd down and not 2nd down. It was a dead ball foul.
Well, they lost 2 yards, and then they'll lose 15 more. I don't think we've ever seen so many 15-yard penalties against the team in a game, let alone
that's been
half.
a lot of them, and this really happened late. You know, see, just try and watch Dorner come underneath him and Mercado working a little game up front and there, and right there, I think the finish, just trying to roll off the pile. You see Matt?
He ripped his helmet off.
Rothrock was trying to get up, and his helmet, his chin strap ended up around his nose. So there's chippiness down there. We've known this game to be a little chippy every year.
Well, they've got to go from the 32 to the Lafayette 38. So it is 3rd and 31.
In that dime defense, just 3 guys rushing.
So they'll throw a safe pass. Lafayette will make sure they don't get a first down. Phil Parham is there to make the tackle. Ball was caught by Joel Kimpella, and Kimpella knocked down at the 38-yard line. So give him a gain of 6, but not close to a first down.
Jared Roberts will go back to receive this punt here, so probably line up around his 20-yard line. You know, we haven't seen Lafayette block a punt. This would be a great opportunity, Gary, because if you rough the punter, it's not a first down. You do move him up to midfield. I'd like to see Lafayette go after a punt or two.
Punting the football, Harry McCollum. And it's a good spiral, but all by himself is Roberts waiting at the 16-yard line. So he's got a lot of running room. He avoids one. He avoids another. Jared Roberts cutting back, and he continues to cut back. Watch out. 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Can he make the final? No, he cannot. He'll get knocked out of bounds. At about the 4-yard line, Jared Roberts with an electrifying punt return. After a 50-yard punt, Roberts goes from the 11-yard line down to the Fordham 4-yard line. Mike, 86 yards.
Just a beautiful punt return, and you were just hoping he would stay in bounds, and he definitely did right there. Good job throwing his hands up in Brockman, and then the cutback, and he's going to follow Shane Black all the way down the field along with Ben Carroll. He runs out of gas a little bit at the 4, but I've told you so many times, when one is on the field and he's got his hands on the football, he is the best athlete in the Patriot League, and he just turned his game around.
That's better than a block punt. First and goal to go from the 4-yard line. Lafayette trying to tie this game up before they go in the locker room. It's Ross Sherman, and it's Ross Sherman, and he sidesteps his way for a 4-yard touchdown. And it's 14-13.
Yeah, great move in the hole, Ross Sherman. We saw this at Lehigh last year when he returned the opening kickoff all the way to the 32-yard line, making somebody miss in the hole. Watch what Ross Sherman does in the hole. It's well blocked at the line, and then boom, look at that miss right there. That's a great job. He just put a nice move on Terrell Williams, the linebacker number 2. Had no chance, hit the ground. Ross Sherman hit the end zone.
So he has now moved into, all by himself, 6th place, as he just went past Leonard Moore. The extra point by Ryan Graylish is up. It's good. It's a whole new ball game. 14-14 when we come back. Stay tuned for the halftime report presented by the Farmers Insurance. That's our halftime report. It'll be Matt, it'll be Mo, it'll be Phil. That was the 24th touchdown in the career of Ross Sherman. He now is trying to catch Tom Costello, who has 28 of them. Looking back, we did have a 92-yard punt return by Ryan Priest for a touchdown. So we're not sure if maybe that 86-yard return might be the second longest, but of course no touchdown tacked on to that, but that certainly set up the tying touchdown by Lafayette. So it will be Georgetown's football at the 26-yard line.
A good opportunity here for Lafayette. They have the momentum right now. Obviously went down 14-0. They've answered those 2 scores. They have all 3 timeouts left. And if you're Lafayette right here, you're looking for a big play on first down. If you can hold the Hoyas to no gain, maybe a loss of yardage on first down, you have an opportunity to get the ball back in good field position.
Not the only thing to hold the Hoyas so far today has been the yellow hanky, as the penalties that they have acquired have really kind of stopped them. Tackle made by Bo Bosch. Gain to the 32. And that's a pickup of 6.
And Michael Simaluka actually in the game and quickly out of the game, bringing Campella back in. Campella right now with looks like 3 carries for 42 yards.
2nd and 4. He'll get a chance to pick up those 4. He's a tough, strong runner as he breaks through again, knocked out of bounds by Daryl Crawford. But not before he quickly gets it into Lafayette territory. Boy, how could this offense statistically be so poor? 24-yard gain.
You said it. I think it's a combination of the two. I think Lafayette a little bit on their heels. Chris Brockman right now really holding his shoulder inside at the linebacker position. He was injured on that play, but refuses to come out.
1st and 10. Nolan again. This time he gives it to Daniel Wright. Those two guys are a terrific 1-2 punch. Run out of bounds by Parham. And that'll be another 1st down. Get down to the 32-yard line, a pickup of a dozen.
Yeah, just stretching the ball to that perimeter. You see right now, doing a nice job getting up to the 2nd level. The backside fullback, and you see right now Chris Brockman, he couldn't hold up for one more play. He's down in the middle of the field.
That'd be another big loss for Lafayette. As Colton Kilpatrick is out with an ankle injury. Justin Adams is out today. Tim Vangelis is out today. Of course, everybody looking forward to New York City. Get ready to tackle New York City with 3 action-packed days of exciting events celebrating friends, traditions, and the Pards. We've got you covered on how to get to Yankee Stadium for the historic Lafayette-Lehigh football game, where to stay, what to do. It will be an unrivaled weekend of fun. Rivalry 150, the weekend, the game, November 22nd. Make sure you're there. All right, let's take a look at how Lafayette came back in this ball game. All of the action taking place for them in period number 2.
Yeah, the 2nd quarter was big for Lafayette. They had been down 14-0, really didn't show up. But you got a great run here by Deshaun Brown. That was that 2 tailback offense. And then Sherman does a nice job again, stretching the field, width wide. You see Sherman's going to bounce this one right here, get into the end zone. That cuts the lead to 14-7. And then obviously the huge 86-yard return by Jared Roberts, stepping up. The senior captain will get it to the 4. And then Sherman, great move in the hole, ties the game at 14. But now the Hoyas back on the move again here, got the ball down close to the red zone.
Chris Brockman still down. Young man from Texas. Now he's up and slowly walking off the field. Let's go down, and John's going to talk to you about the jersey number 35 for the Hoyas.
Thanks, Gary. While we have a moment, it's no coincidence that normally the best defensive player on Georgetown's football team wears number 35. It's Nick Alfieri this year, and it's been given to honor a player, Joe Ikabachi, who was lost in the World Trade Center terrorist attacks. And since that time, they wanted to do something to Georgetown to honor the former all-conference player. Every year, it's an honor bestowed upon the guy who displays focus, determination, and intensity that Joe Ikabachi did. This year, it's Nick Alfieri, well-deserved for the Georgetown Hoyas. A great gesture by a close football team. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, John Leone, for that report. We talk about that, and it deserves mentioning every single time the Georgetown Hoyas are taking on the Leopards. 1st and 10 from the 32. As Georgetown will just simply run the football up the middle. Carrying it is Tim Barnes, a sophomore quarterback. It's tackled by Mark Dodd along with Brandon Bryant. Gain of 2.
We've got another injured player down, Georgetown offensive lineman right there. I think that's number 77, Kevin Liddy, really slow to get up.
He's a 300-pounder out of Garden City. That's the first time we've seen the Wildcat used today.
And they're thin, Gary, at offensive line. The flag is not playing today, and McFarland, the backup tackle, had to move in there, and he's listed as both left and right backup tackle. So the question is, who's going to play tackle right now for Georgetown?
Well, we have a moment. We always invite you to shop at the Lafayette DVD store. The Lafayette Sports Network has provided unparalleled coverage of Leopard athletics for 17 years. Fans can purchase DVDs of all telecasts for the past few seasons, as well as a few memorable telecasts from years gone by. So watch that great game whenever you want. Shop the GoLeopards.com DVD store today. Mike's mom's on that site every day looking for his son's broadcast. 2nd and 8 from the 30-yard line. That was a strange play, that Wildcat play. ask you about that in a moment. Back to throw, Nolan looking, and he's going down. Fumble. Lafayette has it. So it is the Hoyas who turn the ball over, as 56 coming up with a fumble recovery was James Kasha. And we'll get a look to see who caused that fumble.
I think Kasha caused it and Mercado got on it. I think we get the replay. Mercado with his second fumble recovery of the year.
Here it is.
Get a look at it. Look at Kasha. He's just going to beat. And take a look at it, Gary. That actually is the extra guy that came in. That's Mike McFarland. McFarland had to bump back out to tackle with Liddy. So big play. Liddy has to leave the game. McFarland's got to play tackle. Kasha goes right around him, causes the fumble, and then he gets on it, Mercado.
Mercado with his third fumble recovery of the season. And Lafayette with a football at their 31-yard line. Now an opportunity to maybe get the lead. Not much here, however, as they carry it over the left side for a couple of yards. Carrying it, and in there, back from injury, is Kyle Mayfield. The sophomore out of North Wales, Pennsylvania, got hurt in the Sacred Heart game. He was the backup running back to Ross Sherman, and good to see him back in there. Picks up a couple, 2nd and 8. Fake the handoff. Sirfas back, looking for some running room. And he will get the ball up to about the 38-yard line. A gain of 5. Here's John Leone.
Thanks, Gary. Very quickly, Chris Brockman suffered a stinger, so he's being evaluated. He certainly won't be back for the first half, but hopefully the second half, his return is questionable. Second half soonest. Back to you guys.
Thank you, John. So Lafayette trying to take advantage of some big turnovers in the ball game, and of course special teams with a good job on a punt return. Big play here though, 3rd and 3. Back right underneath. They'll drop it off to Demetrius Dixon. They were playing zone that time, and he just simply went between the two defenders to catch the ball in the open space. Gain of 14.
Gary with the zone call. I love it. Look at it. Alec May. He saw it. Alec May dropping off into coverage. The big rusher. What you want to do with a guy who has the most sacks in the league is drop him into coverage. Well, he ends up dropping into coverage, and Gary saw it. A little zone coverage. Demetrius Dixon sat down. Beautiful delivery. Picked up 1st down, 3rd down. Big to pick it up.
Lafayette coaching staff hinted that perhaps he was giving away when he would drop into that kind of coverage, and perhaps he did give it away. This pass coming across the middle to Rocco Palumbo. He is hit immediately by Matt Satchel as we get down to 1:15 and the clock running. A gain of 4.
And Lafayette's been very good in 2-minute drills here, getting back to the line of scrimmage. Sirfas in good control right now.
Sirfas back. He'll throw on, and he had a man open. Did the catch get made? It did not. It will be an incomplete pass intended for Palumbo, and just a little bit beyond his reach.
Yeah, that's that flood route. You see the short receiver, and then Palumbo almost comes up with it, but it hits the ground. And this is a big down right here for Lafayette. They have all 3 timeouts. I would call a timeout. Take your time here. Obviously, you need to pick it up here because then you got to think about punting the football. So an important down right now. The clock already down to 15 coming out of the huddle. You might want to use a timeout. You have all 3. You can't take them with you into the locker room.
And you have a good field goal kicker in Ryan Grayleaf, so they'd love to put at least 3 up before they go into the locker room. Back to throw. They've got not quite the 1st down. Well, depends. They're going to give forward progress to Brian Keller. That will indeed get them the 1st down to the 37. That's a gain of 7. Again, the tackle quickly by Matt Satchel.
Yeah, nice job. Just working the backside. You see Mayfield slide out of the backfield, and just a good job with his eyes that time. Sirfas looked to the back and then came back inside. This is going to be a tough call right here.
Well, who's it against? Is it offsides, or is it going to be false start? It's going to be offsides. Lafayette is applauding the call by the officials.
It looked like Jordan Richardson stepped in the neutral zone, and that caused Charlanzio to pop set.
Number 99 in the defense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
I hate to bring this up after a negative play by Jordan Richardson, as you're going to get a look at it here, but he has started every game, Mike, since he stepped on campus. Jordan Richardson, every single game since he's been a freshman.
That's unbelievable. Just a great player. And to play next to Alex May, they are a formidable duo, but that time got caught in the neutral zone. I look for Lafayette here. You got to try to get the ball inside the 20. Last time they got that trips or that formation, I'm looking maybe down the middle of the field for the tight end. Covered by a linebacker, 2 deep shell right now for Georgetown. And they're probably going to play some quarters on the front side. So Lafayette should have something on the front side. Now Dixon switching with Palumbo.
They added 6 seconds to the game clock. It had gone down to 40. They put 46 up there now. 1st and 5 from the 32-yard line. Graylish has a 37-yard field goal this year. He had a 38-yard field goal last year. So they've got to get down around the 20-yard line. Pump fake. Searfoss doesn't want to get sacked, and he will not. He'll run out of bounds at the 31 and pick up a yard.
It's a flag down right around the 41-yard line.
Take a look at Brian Keller on this pass play, and you'll see that he had no one near him. Nobody saw him, though.
Yeah, right down the middle of the field, and that's what I was looking for. Anytime you put 3 to the front side and you run him down the middle of the field, but there's a flag down, and it's way back. They're going to take Lafayette back here.
Holding, number 25 of the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
Well, that flag came late, and Kyle Mayfield is the culprit in the backfield. So the Leopards will have the ball put back on the 42-yard line. Well, the 5-yard penalty they picked up, they just lost.
Well, this right now is where Blake Searfoss really has to mature. He's got to know he's got 3 timeouts. The clock is running right now. And now they're going to have to stop it because the clock should not have run right there. They ran about 4 or 5 seconds off the clock.
Please reset the clock to 40 seconds.
40 seconds, okay. So we were talking about Searfoss. You can use the middle of the field here, so you don't need to get a touchdown right away. Pick up 10, 15 yards that you lost. Get yourself back on track and on schedule.
But you know, the clock operator, by the way, up here is an official. Searfoss, that's what he can. Now Lafayette will call a timeout, though. They have 3 of them. So you don't want to get sacked in this case. Alec May is in there. We haven't called his name yet. That's a good thing because Alec May is a monster. 52 tackles coming in, 12 tackles for a loss. He's second in the nation in sacks at 9.5. He's forced a fumble. He has 22 career sacks, 7th all time.
You might wake him up.
That's right. I'm sorry.
I was about to say the same thing. Alec May, we really haven't called his name a whole lot. He did run Searfoss out of bounds on the previous play and then on that play as well. So, you know, Lafayette, 34 seconds, plenty of time. It's really a lifetime right now. So Blake's got to take what the defense gives him, take your check downs, and really, you know, try to set yourself up for a field goal because if you can go into the locker room 17-14, that is a huge, huge second quarter for your offense.
Have to get the ball, one would think, somewhere around the 25 to give Ryan a real legitimate chance at a field goal. And right now they're on the 40-yard line, so they're 15 yards away from that mark. Back, Searfoss gets bumped, gets run around, and that cannot. He still avoids the sack, and he's going to get sacked anyway. And that may be even worse as he lost another 5 yards running around. That loss is all the way back to the 39-yard line. That's a 21-yard loss.
Yeah, bad play that time by Searfoss. Just keeps backing up. And the question is right here. He looks like he wants to throw quick game, so he's really not getting any depth. Lafayette lucky they didn't get called for a hold that time. May came inside. But he takes a huge loss and a huge situation now. Lafayette completely out of field goal range.
So advantageous to the Hoyas that they call timeout. Lafayette will look at a 3rd and 34, and they may be very content now to go into this locker room with a tie 14-14 ball game. Mike and I did a high school game last night with a very similar situation, and the team on offense tried to get it. Ended up not getting it on 3rd down, having a punt blocked on 4th down that was blocked into the end zone and ended up being a touchdown for the opponent. So
it was the hugest play of the game.
Yeah, it really was.
Everything around here. And Lafayette kind of in that similar situation right now. You know, you want to be thankful you're not down by more because you did not play a good first quarter. You played a good second quarter. And this goes back to the opening statements you made, Gary. Inconsistency, you know, consistently inconsistent.
They'll hand the ball off as Deshaun Brown will get good yardage, but certainly not good enough to turn anything around. He'll pick up 10.
This is an interesting call as well, Gary. 6 seconds left. Lafayette doesn't have to punt the football right here.
I go along with you. I think you run a play.
Run a play, yeah. Throw it as far as you can. You know, set something up where you can get Blake outside the pocket. I wouldn't even punt the football here. I would set it up, maybe take a shot at the end zone. It's going to take 6 seconds to throw a Hail Mary. So you got a shot at the end zone instead of giving them a chance at a punt return.
Although Lafayette looks like they will put their punting unit on the field. Although Frank Tavani is discussing things with
Phil, he's saying it right now. Let's throw a pass.
Offensive,
I just saw him say, let's throw a pass. He's asking Phil Hallian what he wants to do, but they're setting the punt team on the field. You know, anything can go wrong here. You could snap it over his head. You could get it blocked. You know, a lot of bad things. 6 seconds, 7 seconds left, you know.
The other thing you can do here is have your punter run around and not punt the ball. And we're going to get a time. And I think Frank still wants to talk about this. I think he wants his offense back out there.
And they're collecting on the sideline right now. I think what you got to make sure now is Surfos doesn't make another mistake. You want to make sure he has a clean pocket, not a dirty pocket, and he throws the ball as far and gets some hang time on it. And I'm sure he can throw it 50 yards.
Or I would not be surprised to see them just run wide. And maybe give it to Ross Sherman, let him run, try to get the corner, see what happens.
The only problem, if you do that, you may get taken down and you give them a shot. But
or better yet, in this situation, you go to John Leone.
Give it to John.
Yeah, that's the equivalent of punting when you go to John Leone. Hey, Michael, 7 seconds left. You're kind of in between. I'm wondering, will receive the kickoff in the second half play into this thing? Now, you know, again, if they run a play, it takes 5 seconds. John's got the ball with 2 seconds left. So, you know, you can understand the dilemma.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if Lafayette receiving in the second half doesn't factor in.
Well, these things you practice, John, so you have to have practiced this. There's a 3-man rush. You got to make sure you pick everybody up. Have Blake step up in the pocket, straight up, not that.
And now they'll call a timeout. I go back to my running Sherman wide as the play. There's 2 seconds on the clock.
They kind of did what I wanted them to do, but they didn't execute it. He's got to step straight up in the pocket right there, and he took the sack.
Loss of 9 puts it at the 40-yard line. Darmstadter's longest field goal is 44 yards. So right now it would be a 57-yarder, so that's probably not in the mix. And Frank Tavani a little upset on the sideline.
Poor execution by his offensive team right there. You can see Lafayette with all 4 defensive backs on the goal line. And there's one thing you tell them: knock it down. Don't intercept it. Don't touch it. Don't do anything. Just knock it down.
Stepping up, and firing downfield, and it's intercepted. Well, Jared Roberts has some running room as he intercepts it at the 2. Jared Roberts again running away from some people, and he'll finally get tackled. That was good hustle. I believe that was Robert Longwell who came up to make the tackle, but it will be a Jared Roberts interception, his 2nd of the year. And Mike's a little upset. It just moves him 1 interception closer to Mike's record as a defensive back. We'll, of course, talk to Coach Tavani before he goes into the locker room. Mike is in tears at the moment.
It's not that close. A good second quarter for the Leopards.
It was indeed. And Jared Roberts a big part of that. And John Leone will talk to the coach right now.
Thank you, Gary. Coach, I got to adjust my halftime thing here. Listen, you turn the ball over twice, you go down 14-0, you come back. The thing that I noticed in the sideline is that how positive you stayed. It kind of changed in the last possession.
Well, you know, hey, just decided. I knew they were going to come after the punt. I thought, hey, we'll just take a shot, throw it deep, clock run out. You know, expected we could protect for a second to throw the ball. Unfortunately, hey, their best rusher comes in and do that. And, hey, we still have interception. So it's, you know, it was a tough half, just like I thought. Not shocked. They play well. Their offense has been getting a lot better. Right now, they're winning the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Coach, the first half was kind of a microcosm of the season because you showed some flashes. I mean, to come back from 14 down, I saw how excited the team got. You guys were really up, and then you kind of shot yourself in the foot near the end. Right. You know, just trying to stay consistent is the challenge.
Well, there's no doubt, and we got to make better decisions. Taking a 30-yard sack when we're just trying to get in the field goal range, but that's game experience, you know, and that's the bottom line. So we're battling. If we're going to come back, we're getting the ball and we come out. Hey, got a ball game, who didn't know it?
Just about to say, Coach, you get the ball coming out, and I know you always like to do that. Put together a good second half for us.
All right, thanks.
Okay, Gary, Michael, back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, John. As Ross Sherman in the first half tied Leonard Moore for career touchdowns with this one. He moved into 5th or 6th place all by himself with that one. He now has 24 career touchdowns. We're tied at 14-14. The Farmers Insurance halftime report right around the corner. We do get a good report from the sideline that Matt Smalley will be available to play in the second half. But right now it's Daryl Crawford who is back along with number 18, Nick Francis, to receive the kickoff of Ben Pretty as we get ready for game 2 for both these ball clubs in the Patriot League, both 0-1, looking for their first Patriot League victory, and they want to stay in the hunt. End over end, kind of short, and it's collected by Brian Keller. And Brian Keller is not an easy guy to bring down. He can drag a few people. Lafayette will have good field position at the 36-yard line. Tackled and run out of bounds by Javon Robinson out of Carrollton, Texas. And Lafayette first and 10 from their 36-yard line.
And a big possession right here. You wonder what kind of changes Lafayette made. They had some success when they went to a little bit of up-tempo and had that two-back offense they had in the game. Right now, two backs in the backfield, but one of them is Dan Delevay, the fullback, with Ross Sherman in the pistol.
That usually means Delevay throws a block, and that's what he did, trying to kick some people out of the way for Ross Sherman. Somewhat successful. However, Jordan Richardson is there to make the tackle, and the Leopards will pick up just about a yard on the play as they started to drive officially on the 37, not the 36.
And Lafayette's got to try to keep Georgetown out from stemming right now and moving prior to the snap, which is really kind of screwing up some of their blocking schemes.
2nd and 9. Sherman again. This time he had to hold close quickly, though, as coming up to make the tackle, and a good sure-handed tackle. Tyrell Williams, the outside linebacker, he came in with 21 tackles on the season. That's a good tackle there by the sophomore.
Better blocking scheme up front. You see Janot, he's going to get over, get a good piece, and the backside Max Ngola actually picks up that 3 technique, kind of knifing down inside him. Good job by Ngola. We say Lafayette's a better running team when Ngola's in the game. He's getting healthier and healthier from that shoulder.
3rd and 4 after the 5-yard pickup. That's a first down as Phil Parham gets the catch. Or check it, that's Marazzi. I'm sorry, Matt Marazzi with the grab, and he will quickly move it upfield to the 42-yard line. Mike, they get him more and more involved every single week, a gain of 15.
Well, he's not just a possession receiver. He's got such long legs, he can take it deep, and Lafayette up-tempo again. They're going to get that bubble screen out to Palumbo here.
And Palumbo makes a couple of people miss, and he'll get good positive yardage, as the bubble screen will get him to the 35-yard line. He is tackled by Garrett Powers, 7 yards on that pass play.
You kind of wonder how that is such an easy thing, but such stress put on Dixon out there along with Marazzi to hold those blocks as long as you can. A lot of times you see holding calls out there, but a nice job blocking out in front of Palumbo.
It stays hurry up. Here they get the ball to Sherman. He's got a man to beat, and he sidesteps. What a nice little juke move he put on Porter Huntley that time, their sophomore cornerback. Tyrell Williams does come up to make the tackle at the 28-yard line, a gain of 7.
Yeah, good one to watch right here. Watch him come out, and he's going to go right with Porter Huntley. Little shake here, back inside, and it's tough to tackle him in the open field. Another pass play.
Sirfas rolling. He's going to look to throw it back. He doesn't have a man, but he's got a lot of room. He is down to the 20. He's down to the 15. He's down to the 12-yard line. A 16-yard pickup. Good, quick decision by Blake Sirfas.
Well, Sirfas right now, obviously with a couple sacks that he's taken, he's got negative yards rushing the football, but just a nice job. He's twice now he's stepped up, climbed the pocket. That time Keller said, follow me, and he got it down inside the 15.
1st and 10 from the 12. Again, Sherman will get it to at least a 10. They try to rip the football away from him. That's not successful. Sherman covering up and hanging on. Tackle made by Richard Schenkel, the defensive end, a gain of 2.
Now Lafayette's got to find a way to put this one in the end zone. This is last year what you and I would call Mark Ross time, just throw it up. You think maybe Marazzi, someone's got to step up. Marazzi, 6'5" outside. He's going to split to the top of your screen, Dixon to the bottom. But you maybe just give him a shot one-on-one in the end zone. He's got some length, and he's got a lot of height advantage over there on Porter Huntley.
2 catches today. Back to throw. They'll flip it out to Ross Sherman. Again, can he make the move? He can't quite step out of a sure tackle, this time by Eddie and Scott. down to the 3-yard line. That's a gain of 7. They're going to be a yard shy of a first down.
And that is a really nice tackle, Gary. You said it, Eddie and Scott. He's one-on-one. Just a little swing pass. Good job. Nice job putting it out in front of Ross. And Ross gets taken down by Eddie and Scott. That is a big, big play. If Lafayette doesn't pick up the first down, you're going to look back on that play and wonder if they could have got the ball in the end zone.
Now they put Delavate and Keller in the backfield, normally to block for Ross Sherman. He's got it. He's in trouble. He does not get back to the line of scrimmage. As coming across the line of scrimmage was number 44, and that is Matt Satchel, the outside linebacker, blitzing all the way, and the Leopards are going to go for the field goal.
Yeah, you always got to worry about plays where you got to kind of pull guys across. You got linebackers stepping right up through gaps. Anything that takes a long time to develop in the backfield on short yardage usually doesn't work, and Lafayette way too much penetration on that play. 25-yard
field goal here for Ryan Graylish. 1 for 1 on the season. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 10:57 on the clock, third period, and the Leopards take their first lead of the football game. They're up by 3. Come on back. Let's go to our trivia question of the day, presented by Vitamin Water. They remind everyone to hydrate responsibly with Vitamin Water. Last week's game at Fordham was presented by LSN as an audio broadcast. We used to call that radio. Who is the famous voice of WEST Radio and Lafayette football? If you don't know that answer, you're not a Lafayette college football fan. That voice familiar to all of us in the Lehigh Valley. Well, the Leopards, they go 55 yards in 10 plays, 4 minutes and 3 seconds used on the clock. And Ryan Graylish with a 25-yard field goal, so he's 2 for 2 on the season. And the ball is kicked off down to the 5-yard line. And another nice hole opened up, but Lafayette closes it rather quickly at around the 27 or 28. The initial tackle made by Draylon James. And we've got some famous people, I think, in the crowd. That's Trey Wingo.
You're right. Yep.
And Rob Schlereth, or Mark Schlereth, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mark played for
ESPN.
the Denver Broncos. Was a Super Bowl champion with the Denver Broncos. Played many, many years. Trey Wingo, a ESPN lifer.
I knew there was a reason people weren't asking us for autographs today. More famous people in the stands. First and 10 from the 27. Hand the ball off. And let's see if the Leopards stiffen up their defense. Joel Kimpella, who rushed for over 100 yards in the first half. This time he picks up 3.
Well, the question is what kind of adjustments maybe they made in there. And really defensive line wise, I think they got to do a better job of really coming off of blocks and getting in, holding their lanes. They really were getting some separation, cutting the backside off and driving the front side 3-tech out was opening a lot of lanes inside.
2nd and 7, ball on the 30-yard line. This time they hand it off to Daniel Wright. He too had a good first half, and he'll pick up enough yardage here for a first down up to the 38 as he is hit by Shane Dorner. Gain of 8.
Yeah, another big hole open up on the backside. Good cut back that time by Wright. You got to give those offensive linemen for the Hoyas a lot of credit. They've been doing a nice job. Wingo, Flag, Roland, McFarland's come in and spelled Liddy a couple times. So after a tough season so far, they've done a good job running the football tonight.
1st and 10. Nolan, 2-step drop, screen pass, drops it off, and not a lot of running room here for Daniel Wright. He's going to get caught in his own backfield, back to the 33. That'll be a loss of 5, well covered by Lafayette as the initial hit came from Steve Mercado.
Yeah, Mercado actually gets credit, but watch the freshman Brandon Bryant. He's man-to-man with Wright. He just does a great job following him out the backside, and no one could see that. No one saw him coming out the backside. There was nowhere for Wright to go. Good job by Bryant chasing him right back into the teeth of Mercado.
Coach Stabani continues to pick up yardage on the sideline. That looked like Nolan wanted to keep the football, and it was kind of taken away from him by Daniel Wright. And that led to an easy tackle by James Kasha. Gain of 1.
Well, Kasha's made some big plays. He's got a sack and strip in this game. This time he just comes down underneath. So you can see Lafayette a little bit more stunting inside, bringing their ends underneath to kind of collapse some of those zones. Remember, we talked about this 4-2-5 defense and inside the huddle. You want to spill things. Restrict inside gaps. They're doing a better job so far on this drive.
Big third down, 3rd and 14. Passing situation. Fake the handoff. Kyle Nolan back, firing over the middle. He had a man wide open, and he just simply threw it too far for Jake DeSico. He had cut down inside the 2 lanes of Lafayette's defense, but the pass was not a good one.
Yeah, Mercado did a good job. Watch Mercado work upfield, put a little pressure, make Nolan dance to the left, and then Nolan just really had to lay this one out in front of his receiver, and he just put it too far out in front of DeChico. If he'd have thrown it harder, he might have thrown it right into the chest of Brendan Bryant. I like to see when number 1's back returning punts.
Third punt of the ball game for Harry McCollum. He's averaged 45.5, but one of them was returned for 86 yards. Robert's going to run away from this one as they don't even punt it anywhere near him. And this is not a very good punt. That's kind of a direct result of that run back and to the 36-yard line. That's just a 30-yard punt.
You talk about punting the ball away from the punt returner. Well, that pretty much is what the punter did there. Another opportunity for Lafayette to put points on the board. 3 of their last 5 possessions, they have scored points, and they probably should have scored some points at the end of the first half. So you say 4 out of the last 5 times they put some points up, but Ross Sherman looking good today. DePietro in there right now with 3 wide receivers. So Lafayette needs to pick up good yardage on first down.
It is Ross Sherman trying to cut back against the grain. You know, he's only going to get a couple of yards there, maybe 3 at best. But he had to make about 4 moves to get those 3 yards. Tyrell Williams with the tackle. We'll be back on the air next Saturday at 1 o'clock as we'll be in the Boston area with Harvard, the Crimson. 1 o'clock next Saturday afternoon.
And another good test for Lafayette coming off of Wagner and Fordham, and now obviously this tough Georgetown defense. Harvard going to present some problems for Lafayette. Got to go in there with a win.
Take the handoff, and Blake's in trouble. That play looked like it was ill-timed from the very, very beginning. The line either got started a little late or the snap was a little late. And as coming in to make the get the sack is Alec May again. That's his 3rd sack of the game.
Yeah, watch the left of your screen. He's going to go right around Mazer. And like you said, you wonder if Mazer had the snap count because Alec May just picked up his 3rd sack of the day. 2 of those coming late in the first half, but that time he went right around Mazer. Lafayette's got to be a little careful right here, Gary. They have the lead. They've been playing a little bit better. If you're right now, Blake, you don't want to throw the ball into traffic. Try to find an open receiver. If it's not there, throw it away.
3rd and 14. Good protection. They get it out to Sherman, and he'll get run out of bounds. Immediately hit by Phil Nowacki. And Nowacki will put him out at the 37-yard line. So pick up a 5 on the completion, but well shy of a first down.
Yeah, Surfos right now 12 for 17, throwing for just 105 yards. Lafayette's struggling a little bit on first down. When you struggle on first down, you can't stay on schedule. You got to throw the football when you don't want to instead of when you need to.
So they now do agree with our first half numbers throwing the ball as they put it up to 105 yards. And here is a nice little move, couple of side steps on the run back. The punt itself, 46 yards. When we come back, the Hoyas have the football, but they also own the deficit. Stay with us. They're ready to go. The 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line for the Georgetown Hoyas. Their next opponent next week will be Bucknell. Tackle made by Dennis Benchko. Carrying the ball was Joel Kimpella. It seems like they pick up 6-7 yards every time they carry the ball, and yet the Leopards have not given up a score since the first quarter. Gain of 6.
Kind of strange. Just coming into the game, you say, Gary, averaging 3.2 yards a rush. And today they're well over 7 yards a rush. So Lafayette doing a little bit of a better job, but a lot of gaps so far in that defense.
2nd and 4. Signals coming from the sideline for Kyle Nolan. Kimpella behind him. He's got it. Can they stop him? Pretty good lick that time, thrown by Shane Black. Shane Black, he's not all that big at 6'2", 203, and he's got Kimpella running at full strength right at him. There's a penalty flag thrown, however.
And he's talking to Coach Devani either whether he wants to accept it or not. I think Frank's got to take it back.
I agree. There was no gain on the play.
Face mask, number 77 in the offense. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, second down.
Kevin Liddy blocks by grabbing face mask. That's his second time.
Somebody better let him know to keep his hands. They're really protecting the neck and the head area this year with offensive linemen, hands to the face masks, things like that. But that is another huge penalty. Takes him out of basically a 3rd and 5 and puts him all the way back to a 2nd and long. So some big-time penalties really hurting. That was formation into the boundary. You talked about Shane Black coming up. Shane had to come into the boundary, got off a quick block, made a play.
That was their 5th 15-yard penalty. It's rare to see any 15-yard penalties in the game. No one's going to roll. Quick flip. Has his man. They don't get a lot. Mike Similuka with the with the catch. Similuka will get it to the 30-yard line, pick up 8.
Yeah, it's going to be a 3rd down and 10, but this is just a quick throw out to the outside. Nolan on the run, big guy, makes a nice throw, gets Similuka out there just to create a 3rd down and manageable. 3rd down and 12 is going to be tough. This is a big down right here, kind of momentum changer. If Lafayette can get off the field, I think they can put some points up, but in that dime defense, they're looking to bring some heat right now. So pressure on man-to-man, the freshman at the bottom and Smalley at the top.
3 down linemen, but they're going to rush 5 and not getting away from the on-rushing Dennis Benchko. He was coming from the outside on the left side defensively, and he gets in to get the sack, a loss of 5.
Now, he knew where it was coming from, Nolan, but the question was that Smalley just had locked down the outside receiver. Watch Nolan, he's looking to his left the whole time, and Benchko actually pushes him, thinking that he got rid of the football, didn't want to rough him, and then he goes and gets the sack. So a little push, little thing, but give Smalley a lot of credit down the field. He had locked up the wide receiver, and another good opportunity right now for Jared Roberts.
McCullum with the punt. This one is returnable, collected at the 31-yard line. Jared Roberts again makes a couple of people miss, and he'll get the, here comes a penalty flag, however. So we'll wait until we get the call, and then we'll head on down to John Leone. He's got a very important interview on the sideline. That punt, by the way, a 45-yarder.
Yeah, I think it's going to be legal hands, probably a block in the back or a hold right here on Lafayette.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 15 of the return team, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, 1st down.
Take it back to the 22. We'll carry it right on down to John Leone.
Thanks, Gary. The closest I get to standing next to heroes is when I stand next to you two guys, but this is a special treat for me, really. As part of the Wounded Warriors program, honored today at halftime were a couple of local heroes. I'm here with Victor Rivera from Carlisle and Garrett Michaels. Also, very interesting stories. Very quickly, Victor, your story first.
I just served in the Air Force. I was in Kuwait, Afghanistan, and Iraq.
And also serves as a Wounded Warrior peer mentor, which is incredible. And Garrett, you went back to college after your first tour.
Yeah, I went back to college and then served again in Afghanistan afterwards as an officer. I was really proud to serve.
You've been in this stadium once or twice.
Yeah, my mom went to Easton. I'm sorry, Mom. Mom went to Petersburg. Dad went to Easton. They're watching right now. So I've went to the Petersburg-Easton game a few times.
And I'll tell you, fellas, thank you so much for your service. I'm really honored. It's daunting to stand next to two guys who've been through what these guys have been through. Back to you guys.
Ditto from up here in the booth, John. I'm just wondering how a Phillipsburg and Easton graduate can get along all those years. As that gain, Deshaun Brown carried on the 1st down and picked up 4 yards. Here there'll be no gain at all on the carry, so Lafayette will look at a 3rd and 6. Kyle Mayfield carrying the ball that time.
Yeah, Lafayette's just not getting a lot of push up front. Some of these plays are just slow hitting plays, these read plays. I'd really rather see them get somewhere where they got a lead fullbacks. Their offensive linemen struggle to get to the 2nd level. Maybe get the Delevade in here and just get some downhill runs.
Dangerous play possibly here. 3rd and 6. Good protection, firing downfield high, and there's the dangerous play I was talking about. As Porter Huntley has the interception, he'll get tackled. A hard, good tackle by Deshaun Brown. But Porter Huntley gets his 1st interception of the season, and they have the ball on the Lafayette 48-yard line. 2nd interception of the ball game thrown by Blake Surfaz.
Yeah, you can see Frank Tavani talking to Blake as he comes off the field. Just a poor decision right now. He's got 3 verticals down the field. He's got the drag underneath, and I think if he would have just taken what the defense gave him, and that was the underneath drag, he had to understand he's got the lead. The defense is playing a little bit better. They might have figured out this offense. You cannot turn the ball over and give a team the ball right around midfield.
So from Lafayette territory, they'll hand the ball off. They won't get much here as Lafayette gang tackling led by Shane Black. Not sure anybody hits harder than Shane Black. There you get a look at number 15. And he just came flying. He has no idea of trying to protect his body. Gain of a yard. Yeah, make it 2.
We can hear some screaming going on in the booth next to it. That's, I think, Coach Fine very, very upset with his quarterback. But you said it, Gary. Nobody hits harder than Shane Black. And, you know, he's lost some time due to injury. Great to have him back. He is a hard-hitting linebacker / safety.
2nd and 8 from the 46. Nolan back, Nolan looking, firing, and did it hit the ground? They're going to say it is a good catch from Mike Simaluka, and Simaluka will get the ball for a first down to the 37, a gain of 9.
Yeah, Simaluka just on a little curl, but watch the nice pocket presence right there from Nolan. Not a great throw. He threw it down really only where Simaluka could catch it, but definitely got his hands underneath it, made the catch, picked up a first down.
Under 2 minutes now to go in the 3rd quarter as the Hoyas trying to take the lead back or perhaps tie it up. Catching the football and making a quick move is Glore, Harrison Glore. Or check it, that's 27. Or is it 87? It's Jared Roberts who runs him out of bounds. It will be Jake DeSico with that catch at the 32-yard line, a pickup of 5.
Georgetown's done a nice job of staying on schedule today. That picks up 5 yards, really 2nd and 5. They can take a shot at the end zone. Here they've shown the propensity to really kind of run some screens, run some draws, things like that, and no one can use his legs. So trying to find their feet again here in the 3rd quarter of the Hoyas.
Right in the backfield. In motion goes Simaluka. Bad snap, low. Have to fire it out here quickly, and they do. Simaluka with the catch. His forward progress, though, is going to be marked at the 29-yard line. So he's going to be shy of a first down. They pick up just 3 yards on the play. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and a couple.
Yeah, kind of outflank the Lafayette defense right here. 3 in the flat, both outside receiver. The defenders chasing the inside routes. Jared Roberts has to get out of there, but Simaluka actually stepped out of bounds. Coach Scarlotta, I'm very happy about that call. 3rd down and 2. An absolutely huge play right here because I think they're in 4-down territory.
Looks like the Leopards got a pretty good spot on that play. We'll see whether or not that works to their benefit. 3rd and 2. Hand the ball off, and it'll be a first down. Avoiding that initial hit was Daniel Wright. Then he does the spin, and Shane Black has to clean up. And it looks from here that they have the first down at the 27 as we have a Leopard injured down on the field as you look at the replay.
Yeah, Wright runs very hard. Lafayette do. It's going to be Shane Black again holding his left forearm.
Lingering repercussions from your years of football?
The only one that really bothered me, I had an AC knockdown similar to what Drew Reed had my senior year. I played 41 games out of 44 at Lafayette, and the only one that really bothers me still is my shoulder.
Carrying the football, and that may be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Daniel Wright gets to the 25, a gain of 2. Tackled by Brandon Bryant. Looks like they want to get another play off quickly.
And we got a penalty right here. I don't know. That was thrown really late. I think that's going to be on Coach Scarlotti. He was out to the 30-yard line to the numbers.
Well, that would be a huge penalty, a huge mistake.
Not quite sure, but that was thrown way late. It was thrown on the sideline. And yeah, I think this is going to be against Georgetown again, and it might be on the coach.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 26 of the offense, 15-yard penalty. It is 2nd down.
That's Troy Bullock, who is listed as the fullback. Talk about shooting yourself in the foot.
Wow.
They have just done it all day long. That's another 15-yard penalty. They may be setting an FCS record for 15-yard penalties.
Just incredible. You know, it's going to bring up 2nd down as well, and 2nd and close to 22, 23 yards here. So they're probably trying to pick up half of this back. Good opportunity for Lafayette to turn their ears loose and go get something right here on Nolan.
Nolan back. He's going to go deep. Downfield too far, just too far. intended for Justin Hill. He had created a little separation, coverage by Dennis Benchko. 100 yards in penalties now. Actually, we have them for 115. The official stat has them for 100. That's a lot of penalty yardage.
Absolutely. Justin Hill had about 2 steps, and I've seen this a couple times. Philip Parham, the freshman, he's got good coverage right around 15, 18 yards, and then he ends up a lot of times on the ground. So not sure if he gets his legs tied up or he's kind of getting flat-footed right around that 15-yard mark, but a couple times he's been outrun last week against Fordham today.
3rd and 22, getting rid of it quickly, and that's a little bit too far, as that one was intended for Matt Buckman. And that will bring an end to quarter number 3. The Lafayette defense, they've had to run around a lot, but Dennis Benchko with a big sack. He wants a little applause. We'll give it to him, and we'll be right back. Looks like the Hoyas are going to give the ball back to Lafayette to start the 4th quarter, as they have 4th and very long for a first down. So they'll punt the ball away. Henry McCollum in there for his 5th punt of the football game. Trying to put it into the coffin corner. And instead, it'll go into the end zone. So they're only going to net 19 yards. It'll go down officially as a 39-yard punt. And let's go to John Leone.
Hey, thanks, Gary. While we have a moment here, a little editorial or what have you. I heard you guys talking about number 150 in New York City. And is there a better place for ESPN's College Game Day than Times Square? With all the controversy and all the questions surrounding football nationally, 2 schools that not only do it right, but have been doing it right since 1884. Come on, ESPN, get with the program. I want to see you on Times Square on November 22nd, Lafayette Lehigh, number 150. Thanks, fellas. Back to you.
John, just go up in the stands. There's 2 employees of ESPN. Threaten them a little bit. Beat them up. Carrying the ball is Ross Sherman. And he'll get to the 26. He'll pick up 6 before he is tackled by Porter Huntley.
Yeah, nice job by Ross. You just kind of get the feeling if Lafayette keeps plugging away like they've done the last couple of weeks, try to get the ball to Ross out in space.
And that's what they try to do. And they do. And he's going to get a first penalty flag. This is coming back. Are they going to get a hold here?
I think they're going to get a hold on Palumbo, number 86, who is the outside second-in receiver.
They may have reached out to try to tackle the potential tackler. Here's the call.
Holding, number 86 of the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, 2nd down.
Well, Mike saw it from up here. Here's a look at it.
Yeah, watch Palumbo. He's going to be the second guy in right there. And as he tries to release off of it, he's got his hand. That wasn't much of a hold. As I looked at it again, I saw Wardell Crutchfield, number 4, trying to escape and got his hands inside. Once you got your hands inside the chest plate and they don't extend, that can't be a hold. That's a poor call.
Lost back to the 12, 2nd and 18 as they give it to Ross, and he bangs a few people before he twists and falls down at the 17-yard line. He'll pick up 5. And you're going to see Frank Tavani pointing to the screen as we show the replay.
That's why we run them on replay. A lot of teams don't do that. Got another player down right now. I'm not sure who that is on the field. Is that
Colgate was beaten by Princeton 30-28. Holy Cross was beaten by Brown 27-24 in double overtime. And Lehigh lost to Bucknell 45-24. So not a terrific day for the Patriot League, as the Leopards next week will take on Harvard, and then it's all Patriot League action. Holy Cross, that'll be back here in 2 weeks. And here we go, throwing it out as Blake Suafoss, and he couldn't get anything on it. He just go down as an incomplete pass, and the Leopards now are going to have to punt the ball from deep in their own territory.
Yeah, they're having a lot of problems pass protecting right now. That was a 3-man rush, and we saw at the end of the first half, Surfos gets sacked with a 3-man rush, really a spread wide, and that time he stepped up in the pocket, was not aware of the man coming from behind him, which probably got a hand on his foot. So some poor pass protection right now. Lafayette's got to get that squared away. They are struggling to protect their quarterback.
DeSico is deep to return the punt, and that's a good punt all the way back to the 34-yard line. Now DeSico with a little running room, and he will get it back to the 45. And we're going to call timeout down on the field. It's Georgetown with a football. They have a 3-point deficit. Lafayette by 3. I'm not sure if he's a Hoya fan or a Leopard fan, but it's 1st and 10 from the Georgetown 45-yard line. Hand the ball off, and there is Joel Kimpella. I have not seen the first guy who hit him bring him down today. Tackle made by his matching number, Braylon James, at the Lafayette 44-yard line. That's an 11-yard pickup.
And Kimpella right now, we have him for 133 yards rushing. And he's really kind of been part-time with Wright, so huge average today. Just kind of confusing the way they come into the game, averaging such a small yardage percentage, and today well over 8-9 yards a carry.
A little confusion here as far as substitutions are concerned. Simaluka wants to come in.
And what's more confusing, Gary, is the play clock didn't start until they started getting ready. Now it's at 20:20. It should have been at 10.
They're getting plenty of time to get this play off. Simaluka came in, and then Daniel Wright came in. Wright's going to get the ball. Well, they do a nice job of keeping fresh legs in there, and the fresh legs are doing a good job, period. Tackle made by Dennis Benchko. The gain to the 34, and I think that's close to another first down. It's a pickup of 10.
Right on their average, around 10 yards per carry. Both Wright and Kimpella have really ripped this defense in half. You can see the good double team right there. Matt Rothrock kind of gets just pushed out of the way, and then into the secondary goes right. When your safeties are making tackles, it's really not a good sign.
1st and 10, 34-yard line. Leopards up by 3. This time it's a good fake, but nowhere to run. There's a stick. That is a hit by Chris Brockman. They call him the striker. Mike will tell you why.
Well, the striker usually plays outside where Jared Roberts is. He's back inside, a will linebacker. And these plays take way too long to develop. But watch this hit. That'll make a stinger feel better. He left early in the second quarter with a stinger, but comes right back, both him and Smalley, and he puts him right down. A big hitter, and he's been that way since he's been a freshman. We saw him at Yale a couple years ago, just really lighting people up. Chris Brockman.
Kimpella and Wright in the same backfield. We haven't seen that very often. And they're back to run. It's a pass pattern. Boy, there's a wide open catch by Mike Simaluka, tackled immediately by Dennis Benchko. Down to the 23, a pickup of 13 yards and a first down.
And poor coverage that time, a blown coverage. Actually, Mark Dodd probably should have been back in that hook curl. He went for way too much width, and he and Jared Roberts ended up standing next to each other outside the hash as Simaluka came back in and made that reception. So a blown coverage by Lafayette at an inopportune time.
They have gotten themselves in Henry Darmstadter territory, which would tie the game. Now the Leopards have to make sure they don't get a touchdown here. Carrying the football was Kimpella. Making the tackle was James. Gain of 3.
We'll see what Coach Link has drawn up right here. He hasn't brought a lot of pressure so far on this drive. He's kind of stayed back, played really 4-man rush and some zone coverage.
And
so
Mike, that's what a running a game does for you. It makes you a little leery of blitzing.
Blitzing, because you don't want to get yourself out of position.
2nd and 7. Here we go again. Kimpella again. He's got some leg drive. He's going to get another first down, I think. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 12-yard line. A gain of 8. First down number 21. This is a very good drive for the Hoyas.
Yeah, doing very similar to the things they did in the first quarter. Just running the football, throwing in a couple of passes here and there. But you can see that just a huge hole up inside. Mark Dodd making contact 7 yards down the field, which tells me that offensive linemen are getting to the second level and the defensive linemen are not getting off of blocks.
A rush for 243 yards. To the outside. That's a good tackle and one that needed to be made by Chris Brockman. It'll be a gain, though, 3 yards.
Yeah, Brockman inside out that time. Lafayette did a better job there. Just to watch him take away the inside running lanes here. You see the ball bounce to the outside, and against this 4-2-5, that's what you want. You want to clog up the inside lanes, make them bounce, don't give them the inside restricted lanes, and let your linebackers run people down.
Look for Deceit or Simaluka too, but instead they give it to Kimpella. And this time he's not allowed to at least fall forward and pick up a few more yards, but they're going to get it down to the 6-yard line. Benchko again, and on the tackle, a gain of 3. He had help this time from James Kasha.
That's going to bring up the biggest play of the game right here. 3rd down and around 4 yards just outside the 5-yard line. You can see Lafayette trying to induce the crowd to get excited right now. They're going to have to come up with a big play because you know right now Georgetown's going to have to kick a field goal if they don't make it here.
Simaluka is in the slot on the right side. Out there with him is Jake DeSico. They're the 2 best. And they'll roll that way. Looking, firing, they have their man, and it's a touchdown. No signal yet, but I think he got into the end zone. There it is. Justin Hill with the touchdown. As that will be a 6-yard touchdown pass, and the Hoyas have the lead back.
Now the Hoyas basically ran a 2-point play. They just ran the guy in motion across the field here, and you can see Lafayette bounce and bump and bump and bump, and Benchko, who's got that guy man-to-man. You run 2 outside receivers down inside. They pick off or basically take away the corner and the strong safety. The free safety's got to run over the top. He's got 3 strong. That's who it was. 3 strong ran out the front side. Just poor coverage right there from Lafayette secondary.
The extra point is up. The extra point is good. Nolan's 5th touchdown of the year is 2nd today for Hill. That's his 2nd touchdown catch of the year. The Hoyas back on top. 8:44 to go. Stay with us. Let's go back to our trivia question brought to you by Vitamin Water. Last week's game at Fordham was presented by LSN as an audio broadcast. Who is the famous radio voice of WST Radio and Lafayette football? Mike, this is an easy one.
Yeah, absolutely. The one and only Mr. Dick Hammer.
Yes, and still see Richard from time to time. And no, he had so many years. He's in the Lafayette Hall of Fame, deservedly so.
Yep. My first year working here back at Lafayette.
Yeah, you did some radio.
I did radio, and I was told I had a face for radio by Dick.
So we had Mike get a little plastic surgery, and now he's with us.
What a pleasure it was working with him.
That drive, 55 yards, 9 plays, 4 minutes and 49 seconds. They're going to kick one short here. So the Leopards are going to have decent field position as collecting the football, but he doesn't get too many chances to run the ball. Dylan Wadsworth. So the Leopards will have it 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line. They have done very little offensively here in the second half.
Under 200 total yards of offense. They've not run the ball very well and really dominated the line of scrimmage so far, the defensive line of the Georgetown Hoyas. And this is where Alec May, you think, really got to be licking his chops because he is a pure pass rusher.
He's on the left side of the defense, the right side of the offensive line. Sierfas back, and the ball knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Demetrius Dixon was open, but somebody got a big paw up there and knocked it down.
And if you're Lafayette right now, you don't want to abandon the run. Obviously, you need to throw the football, but there's 9 minutes left, so this is not the last possession you're going to get. This ball gets tipped. Watch, he's going to look to his left right here, Sierfas, and just getting his hand up inside. I think that was big number 99 getting his hand up in there.
It was Jordan Richardson.
Jordan Richardson again.
6'2", 300 pounds. He can hurt a football. Flip it out here, and boy, they are well aware of where Ross Sherman is all the time. He kind of breaks the tackle of Eddie and Scott and picks up a couple extra yards up to the 43. So that's a gain of 6, 3rd and 4. Tackle made by Nick Alfieri.
Now, Lafayette came into the game just 27% on 3rd down conversions. Today, they're 6 for 12, so a little bit better, but they need to find a way right now to convert this 3rd down and keep this drive alive. And if you're Sierfas right now, you got to take what the defense gives you, allow your players to make plays.
Lafayette with under 200 yards of total offense. Back to throw, drop it off, come across, 1st down, unable to stay in bounds, but getting the 1st down for Lafayette is Rocco Palumbo. Palumbo takes it into Fordham territory to the 47, a gain of 10.
Good job by Blake that time. Again, taking what the defense gave him. You get some clear outs. You bring Palumbo back underneath. Watch, he's going to see Palumbo come out of the left of your screen right there. A good catch. Alec May was complaining of a face mask that time from Lafayette.
Sherman, this time he gets a little bit of running room to the 40-yard line. That's a pickup of 7. That time a pretty nice hole opened up. And doing a lot of that work was Ben Janot.
Yeah, Ben Janot did a nice job along with Max Angola and a fullback in the game, Dan Delevay, to lead up to the second level. So many times we talk about Lafayette's offensive line not being able to get to the second level to continue to block in space, but having a fullback allows you to do that. Great pickup on first down.
Here comes a penalty flag, and we're going to get a false start. Boy, you pick up 7 on first down, and now you negate 5 of that.
False start. Number 62 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Called on Max Angola. 6 penalty, 48 yards. And Mike, you sort of get a sense that this is perhaps the biggest possession for the Leopards so far this season.
You can see because they're taking some time here. This really is a huge possession. It's midway through the season. You're 2-3. You got a chance to go 3-3, right the ship, and continue winning in the Patriot League, or go 2-4 and have to take a long ride next week to Boston.
2nd and 8. Good pressure. Back, throwing, and wide open downfield, and making the catch is Matt Marazzi. Marazzi is a nice big target. He got hit by John Egan, but that'll move the chains to the 31. 14-yard pickup.
Now, I know we've seen some nice throws from Blake Surfas, but I think this is one of his best reads of the year. Watch him. He's looking in the flat. He wants right there Sherman so badly, but as the corner comes up and jumps it, and that was Eddie and Scott, came up, his head and shoulders moved the defense, and he found at second level that time Matt Marazzi for a first down.
3rd catch for 41 yards for Marazzi. Stepping up, Blake, looking, Blake, firing, Blake. And he was just looking for somebody to throw to. Probably had a lot of running room that time. He wanted to cut it back towards the middle of the field. Just goes down as an incomplete pass. Looking for Ross Sherman downfield. I think he was looking for Ross to maybe come back to the football.
Yeah, trying to make a play, and he does a nice job. Watch him climb the pocket right here. And there he's got, you can see Ross Sherman coming out of the corner. He's trying to throw almost a back shoulder throw right there, but he just ended up throwing out of bounds. Like you said, Gary, probably could have picked up 6-7 yards just tucking the football.
2nd and 10.
2 running backs in the game. This is that different formation Mickey Fine talked about.
Field goal does them no good. They're down by 4. Penalty flag, motion, false start.
False start. Number 63 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Yeah,
this one's on Zach Mazer.
Sorry, Gary, but at some point, this has to end. That has to end. You just can't continue. We've seen it for 3 years. I mean, is it just the cadence of the quarterback? Is it the difference between Zweisig last year and then Drew Reed? And now is the difference between Drew Reed and Surfas. It's got to end, and these guys got to be accountable for every false start. It's been 50, 60 false starts in the last 3 years.
And we have another new center in here today, and Ben Janot, and you don't know whether that messes up the timing. But we do know it's 2nd and 15. Fake the handoff, downfield, and it's going to be a pass interference, 17 on 17, and that Eddie and Scott will commit the pass interference. Mike, you certainly can't compare Mark Ross to anybody, but physically, Matt Marazzi at 6'4", 210, has at least the body and will hopefully develop much like Mark Ross did.
Defense, number 17.
You see the call.
15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Another 15-yard penalty on the Hoyas. And really the reason they called Eddie and Scott there is because he wasn't looking for the football. So it was an easy call. A call had to be made. But you said it. You know, when we watched Mark Ross as a freshman, we saw some, like you said, the similarities between him and Marazzi. I think Marazzi's a little bit more athletic, if you can possibly be more athletic than Mark Ross.
Because he's got to go some to be as athletic as Mark was as a senior. Pump fake and downfield and getting bumped out of bounds. Good play. Pump fake. Then look for Keller. Keller catches it at the 5-yard line. Banged out of bounds by John Egan. That's a 16-yard pickup. 1st and goal to go from the 5.
Anytime the big tight end catches the football. Last year we talked about Brandon Hall, and this year it's been a guy who's made some big plays for this offense, and that's Keller. And that's another good look off to the flat, moving people with his eyes. Surfas getting better.
Sherman, can he get the corner? He's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Good pursuit. And look at Alec May came all the way across the field to help make that tackle, along with Tyrell Williams. No gain.
Yeah, right now Surfas really just handing that ball off to Ross and kind of riding him in. We haven't seen him keep the football, but if Mickey Fine kind of saw what I saw right there, you know, they're really not taking the quarterback right now in any of this, not really accounting for Surfas in any of this. A bootleg, something to get him on the edge, might make him run the ball right in.
And he hasn't done that yet today. Here he goes. Hands the ball to Sherman. Good cut, touchdown. Ross Sherman with his third touchdown of the day, 5 yards, and the Leopards have the lead back with 5:24 on the clock.
And a huge extra point right here coming by Ryan Graylish, but a nice drive put together, and Blake Surfas grew up a little bit on that drive, aided by the interference, but a good downhill run. I love when Lafayette has a fullback and a tight end in the game. It's downhill, it's Delevate, even though he missed that block. A good move in the hole by Sherman again. Shows you why he's one of the best.
Third touchdown of the day for Ross Sherman. Ryan Graylish's extra point is up. It is good. Lafayette back to a 3-point lead at 24-21. That's the good news. The bad news, they have to turn the ball back over to the Georgetown Hoya offense. Let's go back and take a look at the Leopards' last drive.
Well, it was a good one, and a one whether you said it, Gary. They had to answer, and on this last drive, you see Surfas right there. That was on a 3rd down and 5, and then they got the fullback in the game. Sherman busts one up the middle. This, I thought, was one of the best plays Surfas made. Losing his eyes again. Keller down the field. Twice he did that to his right, and then the nice block inside and good movement by that offensive line coming to life here in the 4th quarter.
For Ross Sherman, he has 6 touchdowns this season, rushing the football, 1 receiving, so 7 overall. He now has 25 in his career. Let's go to John Leone.
Thanks, Gary. You know, on that last drive, obviously the mailman, I guess, Ross Sherman, delivers on the touchdown run. But I'll tell you, Matt Marazzi, the freshman wide receiver, made 2 great plays right in front of me. Michael, you called it very much like Mark Ross. And boy, that's a memory you'll love if you're a Leopard fan. Keep an eye on Matt Marazzi, a rising star. Great plays on that last drive. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, John. It's Isaac Ellsworth deep to receive the kickoff, along with Joel Kimpella. And Graylish will kick it off. It's deep. It's end over end. And Ellsworth at the 1-yard line, looking for a few blocks, and now looking to get to the outside. Lafayette has hemmed him in, but he does escape 1 tackle, and now he does not escape the second one, as making the hit for the Leopards was Michael Root, a Lafayette freshman. So the Hoyas will start.
That's Brockman. Inside, you got the freshman Bryant, along with Dodd, and the 2 corners out there. You got the master at the top, Matt Smalley, along with Philip Parham.
Leopards has forced 3 turnovers in this game. They'd like nothing better than one here. There's a good tackle, because that had the potential to be a long play. DeSico with the catch at the 30. He picks up 9. Benchko with a tackle.
And a chance for Lafayette right now. And their defensive line, they've been getting good penetration. Kind of turn them loose a little bit here and get up the field against a quarterback that's not very nifty with his feet. So chance for Kasha and Rothrock and Mercado, Dorner to tee off a little bit.
They need 1 for the first down. There's that big hole again, and breaking a tackle is Daniel Wright. And Wright will drag everybody into the Lafayette territory at the 46 or 7. They'll mark it at the 46. Tackle made by Mark Dodd. That is a pickup of 24 yards.
Yeah, just huge holds right now. Again, Mercado working upfield, almost pass setting the right guard that time, bringing Mercado up the field and really setting him up to get some different levels that time.
Clock running, 4:25 to go in regulation. They can tie it up with a field goal. Hand the ball off to Kimpella. And he's going to get a good 5 yards on that run to the 41-yard line. Ironically, hopefully you're spending time watching Inside the Huddle with Mike Joseph on GoLeopards.com. This week he talked about overtime.
I know, just a little hint I had there, and just a feeling like Lafayette had only played a few games in the last couple of years, the last one being an overtime game here against Colgate. 9 times Lafayette have played 3 home games, 6 away. They've won all 3 at home, and they've lost 6 away overtime games.
Kimpella and Wright now have totaled 261 yards together. Both of them are over 100 yards rushing. A yard shy of the first down on the Kimpella run. Brandon Bryant with the tackle, and that brings up a 3rd and 1. The ball is at the 37-yard line, a gain of 4.
A dangerous play right here, because if you're Georgetown, you have an opportunity. You know you're going to go for this in 4-down territory. You could take a shot at the end zone here, knowing you're going to come back, but they got to think right now. This ball's going inside right at probably Matt Rothrock off the left side.
I'm guessing Kimpella just to keep the clock running. He'll get it. He won't. Well, second effort, he won't get it. I think they're going to leniently give him forward progress to the line of scrimmage, and I don't think he got even to the line of scrimmage. Shane Dorner was the first to hit him, and they are going to mark it at the 37. They need 1 on 4th down.
And that ball went right there. Great job by Dorner coming underneath and then bringing Bachman off the backside. So huge 4th down in 1 here. Clock running, and I think you're going to see Georgetown probably take a timeout.
Good call, Coach. That's exactly what they will do.
Georgetown, their first charge time out of the half. This is a 30-second timeout.
Coming up, the post-game show. It's presented by the Maroon Club. And, of course, we'll go back to Matt and Mo and Phil. They'll send it back to us for a little chatter. John Leone down on the field. All of that coming up. But there's a very important 2 minutes and 27 seconds yet to go. On 4th down this year, Georgetown is 4 for 13, or 31%.
Dangerous play, Gary, because if you sell out as a defense and the ball pops that first level, a lot of times you see that the guy go just, you know, he's going to end up running 37 yards for a touchdown because you sell out so much penetration. And with the way they've been running the football, getting 6-8 yards a pop, there's no reason for them to put the ball in the air here. You mean just run the football.
And they've been very successful with a quick out. Here's John.
Yeah, thanks, Gary. Significant. Chris Brockman just came out of the game on that last play. Difference between being hurt and being injured. There's a lot of hurt Lafayette defenders. Big play right here. Back to you guys.
Biggest play of the ball game, John. 4th and 1. Do the Hoyas keep their drive alive? Hand the ball off. And I don't know. I don't think he got it.
It's very close.
Think he got it.
According to the top, he did not.
I think it's going to be about a half a yard
I think
shy.
You're right, Gary. Oh, Gary, I think you're right. I think he's going to be a half a ball shy.
They will measure, of course. Referee Matt Overton calls for the chains.
Great job by Lafayette. If we have another shot at it after this, just taking away all the interior gaps and making the running back finally bounce to the outside. James Kasha did a wonderful job. They brought him underneath again, and he made the ball bounce.
You'll get the best look when they pull the chains. Get him farther. Yeah, Lafayette has held. 2:21 on the clock, and the Leopards have the football on offense. Take a look at James Kasha with the play.
Watch Kasha. He's going to be on the right of your screen. He comes, well, just absolutely destroys McFarland into the backfield, 79. You know, Kasha's not the biggest guy in the world. He got both his palms, let's see it again, guys, up inside of McFarland, the backup tackle, number 79. He drove him right back. Watch Kasha take his hands and put him right back into the backfield. Look what he does to that offensive tackle. That's a senior captain.
And Draylen James was the guy that came across the line of scrimmage. So Draylen, who went out with an injury, gets right back in there to make the play. From the 37-yard line, Lafayette now would just like to get rid of 2 minutes and 21 seconds. They'll do it on the ground. Carrying the football, Ross Sherman will pick up 2 and bring up a 2nd and 8, and we get a timeout called. The second one by the Hoyas.
Their second charge time out of the half.
You're going to see Coach Scarlatta just conserve as much time as he has. Remember, they used one on offense prior to that 4th down, so they can only stop the clock one more time here. And Lafayette picked up just 2 yards, but I like the formation. 2 wideouts, 2 backs, 1 tight end.
And there you get a look at head coach Rob Scarlatta, first season. And what better time to remind you that if you want more coverage of the Leopards, go to Leopards.com All Access. They provide even more in-depth coverage of Lafayette, from exclusive live game coverage, classroom experiences, pregame, postgame, everything in between. Go Leopards.com All Access has all you need to know about the Leopards. Subscribe today. You can obviously follow Lafayette Athletics through Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Instagram, you can use @GoLeopards. 2nd and 8 from the 39. Lafayette 2-0 at home, trying to stay undefeated at home. Sherman will lower his shoulder, and he'll get the ball to the 42. Another timeout, the last timeout for the Hoyas. Coming up to make the tackle, Matt Satchel.
Georgetown.
Gain of 3. Lafayette's going to look at a 3rd and 5, Mike. I'm going to put you in the huddle here. And what, do you just run the play and keep the clock going, or do you risk a throw to get the first down?
Well, if you keep the clock running, you got to think about this. You're probably going to get the clock down to about 1 minute and 30 seconds. You'll call your own timeout before you have to punt the football. So you're going to look at giving them the ball back, probably inside the 20, because we have a pretty good punter on our team in Forrester. They're going to get the ball back with about 1 minute and 22, 23 seconds left. Have to go the length of the field with no timeouts. I think you run the football here. But the last time we saw Mickey Fine in this situation, remember, he hit Delavade on that little slide pattern, little play action. What you don't want to do is give your quarterback, Surfus, too many things to do. Make it purposeful. Make them tell him exactly what you want out of this. Maybe look for your tight end or somebody sliding, but I think you run the football and just put it all on your defense.
Big play. They're going to go for the first down. Stepping up. It will not be a first down, as they'll get the ball to the 45-yard line. A gain of 3. It's going to be 4th and 2. And I think you have to put your punting team out there. Although Lafayette can run the clock down another 30 seconds and then call a timeout.
Yeah, they're going to get the ball probably back, like I said, right around 126. They'll call their own timeout, punt the football down. So you're looking at making Georgetown go the length of the field in about 1 minute and 20 seconds with no timeouts.
They are 3 points down. We mentioned earlier that Darmstadter has a 44-yard field goal, which means they would have to get it to around the 27, 28-yard line. And Lafayette does call their timeout with 1 minute and 22 on the clock.
Put that punt in that unit. Now, what you want to make sure you tell your punting guys is when you get out there in the field.
This is a 30-second timeout.
Block first. Don't worry about covering the kick. We want to make sure we block first and get the kick off. The most important thing is for Ryan Forrester to get it out. Talk about getting it out. So block first. Make sure you cover the kick second. Definitely get down the field. And even if Ryan right now kicks the ball into the end zone, not the worst thing in the world, so you probably won't see him nose down kick this ball. You're probably just going to look for him. Good catch, good kick. And remember, you got a freshman snapper in there in Shifford, a kid that's been doing a great job for Lafayette right here from out east in Pennsylvania.
DeSico's longest return prior to today, 8 yards on a punt. He's back. Forrester to punt it away. Good snap. Good high punt. DeSico fair catch. Well, that's about as good as you can get. Down to the 10-yard line, 45 yards in the air. And now it's up to the Leopard defense to play a terrific 1 minute and 16 seconds.
And beat, I was only off by 4 seconds, right? 1:16 left, no timeouts. And if you're Lafayette right now, you want to make sure you almost widen a little bit and defend the boundary, okay? Anything caught in the middle of the field, you can tackle and you can lay on. And this is where you say lay on them. You don't want to get up too fast. Slow, just get up nice and slow. So widen your corners. Instead of 1x6 outside, you go 2x6. You widen your safeties a little bit, and you drop your middle linebacker a little deeper to handle 3 down the pipe. So you can see Mark Dodd is a little bit deeper right now to handle 3 down the pipe.
Kyle Nolan will throw one out here to Campella, and they will stop the clock as he gets knocked out of bounds. And he gets up very, very slowly. He's taken a bit of a beating today. He's had a terrific day running, 159 yards. That is his 3rd catch of the day. The ball at the 12. That's just a gain of 2 yards.
No, you're right, Gary. I like Campella. You know, we saw obviously Chase Edmonds last week, and then we see Campella this week. We see Ross Sherman every week. There's a lot of good running backs. We haven't seen C.J. Williams of Bucknell. You know, some really good running backs in the Patriot League this year.
They stayed undefeated today as they took on Lehigh in the Patriot League and won that ball game. Bucknell now 5-1 on the season. That pass across the middle to Simaluka, and that's going to keep the clock running. They cannot stop it except for moving the chains. That was a gain of 12. 1 minute to go.
Lafayette has 2 timeouts left, so they can calm their defense down by doing that. That might be picked.
And it is. That's it. Big interception by freshman Phil Parham, as Phil Parham gets his first Lafayette touchdown in his career. Watch out, Mike Joseph.
Absolutely. Love it. We watched Phil Parham last week. Phil Parham, a lot of people said, well, he shouldn't have done what he did last week against Fordham, but watch him jump this route. He's got great instincts. He's got low body center of gravity. Last week, he made a great play in the Fordham game against Sam Ajala. He turned. He made a incomplete call. They threw a late flag on him. I thought it was a bad call. Philip Parham, a freshman, makes a little bit of a difference, when he comes back this week and has just a great finish to this game. Got to be a big redemption for him. Lafayette, your favorite formation, Gary?
It's take a knee time. Put the W in the column. The Leopards will stay 3-0 at home. Look to go to Harvard next week and then come back home against Holy Cross. A 3:30 start in 2 weeks. We'll have the Harvard game for you from Cambridge, Massachusetts. Next Saturday at 1 o'clock. This has been a hard, tough victory for Lafayette. They do not have to snap the ball again. Boy, that's a very good 2-5 football team as Georgetown goes to 0-2. And the Lafayette Leopards will come away with a 24-21 victory. In this one coming up, of course, we'll have our players of the game. Talk with Coach Devani as we're looking at Jared Roberts and Ross Sherman as our players of the game. So this crowd was entertained today for sure. The weather just got nicer and nicer as the day progressed. That was kind of the way the game progressed too. Lafayette down by a 14-0 score. Then it started to get nicer. 14-7 on a Ross Sherman touchdown. 14-14 on a Ross Sherman touchdown. A Ryan Graylish 25-yard field goal. And then it was Georgetown to go back up on top on a Nolan DeHill pass play. And then Lafayette on a Ross Sherman touchdown. 24-21 is the final. We'll talk to that guy when we come back.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and welcome back to Fisher Stadium. We begin the Maroon Club post-game show. Remember, every gift matters every year. Join the Maroon Club today. Matt Province alongside our All-Americans Phil Ing and Maurice Bennett. And when we talked at halftime, Mo, it was about making adjustments, getting in there defensively. I think that we saw that very effectively in the second half.
Yeah, we talked about being more physical and more aggressive at the point of attack. We had a great fourth down stand where we were aggressive at the point of attack. We made an interception there at the end, key huge plays on defense. So I didn't see much of an adjustment schematically. Guys just played with more effort.
More effort. We're going to hear from Frank Tavani now all about that. Down to the sidelines, our head coach, John Leone, with Lafayette's head coach, Frank Tavani.
Thank you so much, Matt Province. And Coach, today was Wounded Warriors Day, and I had a chance to talk to one of those guys, and he gave me this. It's a survival bracelet. I think it's more fitting that you have the thing. Coach, I'll tell you what, I don't know what a Hoya is, but this was a dogfight.
Well, there's no doubt about it. I mean, I wasn't surprised. I've been watching that film. Their offense has been getting better and better. They had 3 10-play drives against Harvard, didn't finish them. They're well coached. Rob's doing a terrific job there. Kids came to play. We battled. We started slow. But that's a heck of a fourth down stop, and then to recover the way we did and to be able to drive down the field. We're making a lot of errors out there. The pre-snap penalties are going to cause me to have another heart attack, but I'm working on it.
I'll tell you, Coach, listen, there's a thing called almost losing. It's called winning, and that's the bottom line. And the thing is, it was an uneven performance, but you got to be proud of the kids for stepping up and making plays at the most critical times.
Well, we really are, and the number of freshmen out there is just staggering. Special teams and everywhere else. We got so many people out hurt. We lost some people again, it looks like, but you just keep battling back, and the guys know, the kids know, hey, who's ready to play and practice all week gets ready to play the game. So, we wanted to keep our undefeated record here at home. We're trying to keep it intact. So
I'll tell you that the win over Wagner here, and then this win over a very good Georgetown team. They're character wins, Coach. Something to build on. Doesn't get any easier going up to Cambridge, but enjoy this one for a couple of days.
Well, you know, it's a 24-hour rule, so we'll enjoy it, and certainly look forward to a very big challenge at Harvard.
Good luck up there, Coach. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Let's go to Jared Roberts, one of our Coca-Cola players of the game. Jared, I'll tell you, you know, the defense came up big time when it had to. Little trouble stopping the run, but one of the critical plays of the game was that punt return. Take us through that.
You know, his kick was they all come left, so got it, saw a lane, knew I needed to make a big play.
So it was something that you guys saw on film that they tend to cover that side of the field?
Yep, they tend to kick it to the left mostly all the time, so just took advantage of it.
How cognizant were you of the sideline? Because I was watching you. I was on this side watching it, and I'm telling you, it was microscopic. Did you realize how close you were?
I realized. I did actually. I tried not to look down because I just had to keep running, but I knew it was close, but I knew just keep running until you hear a whistle.
And the cutback across the field, you were able to pick up more blockers. Were your teammates almost as surprised that you kept the play alive?
Oh, definitely. You know, I always cut back, so they knew from last game I probably would cut back, so, you know, they're going to keep running for me, but they're always surprised at that. You know, nobody really ever cuts back like that, but
Jared, congratulations on a terrific win. Keep them together. Big challenge next week up at Harvard, but, you know, keep it. It's a great win today. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Good deal. Okay. Ross Sherman, step in here. Gee whiz, Ross, you know, when it comes down to issues, you seem to be the guy to make the play at the end. Take us through the last touchdown that iced it.
We scored on that earlier. I think that was my first touchdown of the game. You know, we had that in our red zone package, so we knew that play was going to work well for us down in the red zone.
2 games in a row at home where you faced a really tough defense. That's Wagner, and you know, you just kept battling to the end. And then I saw a lot of similarities. The yards were tough to come by today against the Georgetown team. Talk about their D.
Yeah, I mean, their D plays tough, and you know, they were just swarming to the ball and swarming around me. I think you know, they were really keying in. But they played really well tonight, and you know, hats off to them.
Yeah. You know, Mike Marazzi, the young freshman, made a couple of big plays on that last drive, and Blake a couple of good throws. They still, though, Russ, they seem to lean on you at crunch time. Do you sense that you take responsibility as the rudder?
Definitely. You know, I'm trying to be the leader. I'm the leader in the offense, and you know, we got a lot of young guys playing, especially on the outside. A lot of freshmen, and you know, when there's a play to be made, I need to make it.
Yeah, you certainly have held up your end of the bargain. Ross, good luck next week up at Harvard, and congratulations on a great win today.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.